I tell you what, man, this fucking Van Halen thing was hard for me.
Oh, let me tell you, dude. Look at my list here, my chart.
I could change it right now. I mean, I could change it right now.
It was a little bit more difficult for me than the Rush one.
I had 20 songs to start that I had to figure out. I crossed. I couldn't make a decision.
I mean, because there's a lot of really awesome songs, but a lot of times, a lot of them just don't really stand out from each other to me. You know, a lot of them are just, they're all great songs, but they don't really. Some of them don't really just stand out.
Exactly. That was the problem. Yeah.
I was playing them all. I went all through the whole catalog all week, and the more I listened to some of the David Lee Roth albums, I found kind of more like little clunkers in there. Like, this song isn't that great, And but when I listened to the Sammy, it was like, man, these are all pretty solid songs. Some might not be that, but I found more songs that were like, what is with this song? It's like David Lee doing his kind of shtick kind of songs. Especially it's all over Diver Down. But
we're live, by the way. So
no, that's fine. Yeah. But the first album was solid. I mean, I had most of that album on the list, so it was tough. But I did it, and I'm not changing anything right now. So.
Yeah, mine wasn't. It was harder than the Rush one, but I did come to a sort of train of thought of how I picked mine, and I'm happy with my final results. So
yeah, these could change, but I have some honorable mentions. But
you can have a long ass song or a short song, and actually, if you wanted to combine Eruption with You Really Got Me, you can. So.
Yeah, those didn't even make it. I mean,
so this is our Sunday showdown.
I kind of try to stay away from the covers too.
And that was hard for me because I really like a cover that's on. Well, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick it, but I was just trying. Let me just focus on their.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
We don't have a list though up. Do you, Patrick, on here? I'm trying to find the song list.
No, I haven't done it.
Oh shit! I haven't typed it out. I gotta type them out.
Yes, you got 3. You won 3 things, but 2 of them were bundles, Marvin. So you're gonna have like a big box coming. So yes, I'm behind on my duties here. So
no, it's no problem. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like looking in the wrong spot or something.
No, you're not. So it's still under a copy of generic. So
right. Yeah, so it was interesting going through this because I once again on Vance's Instagram I put my little 2 cents on his
I appreciate it.
things cool. There. Just to see, I didn't get to go all the way though to for unlawful carnal knowledge and balance, unfortunately, and the other ones because I totally forgot to put my points in there. But I think the ones that I wanted to get my 2 cents in, I did mainly because honestly, the Sharon record VH3 there, I think I maybe listened to that 3 times total ever, so I don't think I can really make any justification anything.
Yeah, I didn't pull anything for that, but I listened to it. I said, this album isn't that bad.
I mean, do you want me to hold that Steve Vai album so maybe you have some other stuff marked before, or
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Yeah, so I mean, it'd probably make it more fiscally responsible.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's not like I haven't held records here for you before. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, people, this is the top 5, so we want you to share your list. So here's what's going to happen, man. If we're going to play some songs, maybe at the 7:15 my time, 15 minutes past the hour, we'll do our lists. If somebody wants to come up and do their list and hang out, but they have to do their list from 5 to 1, and you have to be wearing clothes. So
that's become a problem.
So that's how it goes. So we'll give us our 5, and then we'll take the ones that Matt like if 2 people, if all 3 of us have. Damn, Vance, your mic is just like.
Is it again?
just put it up or down, and then
I'll just bring it out a little more. As long as it's coming in, all right. Up here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear your heavy breathing. You really, it's not bad now, but.
Yeah, now it's okay.
I know it doesn't. My heavy breathing doesn't work in this crowd. Different streams.
Yeah. Please do. But yeah. So we want you. So this is what we want you to do. Yes, please give us your top 5, and we'll highlight it, and we'll examine. Like I said, I think there's going to be a ton of songs across the board here. I think there's going to be a lot of different songs on here. So I'm looking at his list, and only 1 song on his list is on my list.
Oh, I'm
looking at it here, and honestly. Nothing on list is on mine.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I mean, it's kind of like Rush when people did their Rush list last week. Invariably, all of us had like at least one song typically on everybody's list. But I think this is going to be different. So
yeah, I think it's going to be, and I think you're going to see there'll be a divide. There'll be like,
oh yeah,
if people are, there's going to be like pro Van Halen with Dave, and then you're gonna, and if people do go with Sammy, I think there might be some pro Sammy like.
Are we going to get any Gary Sharon songs?
No, and no, I had a lot of Sammy songs that hit that number 5, but then I pulled them back again. I was redoing it, and a lot of if we did a 10, there'd probably definitely be maybe 3 or 4 Sammy songs that would be in the top 10. I mean, got a couple honorable mentions here. And oddly enough, I think I have singles for all of them. So.
Like this, no tomorrow. That name kills me, Mr. Sausage.
I'm gonna see if I can find that picture. I have a picture of like a hot dog stand in Vancouver called Mr. Sausage. So.
Well, of course, the Sausage King of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it's not Mr. Sausage. It's Mr. Tube Steak. I found it.
Hey, John. Yeah. Get John up here for a Van Halen thing.
There you go. All right. We'll have room for one more after this. I'm only allow. I don't want a ton of people. So
yeah,
just enough to make it right. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 of us is good.
It's so simple.
It's good to have John. I haven't been up with John for a while.
He picked up a Budgie album for me today. So yeah.
Yeah, I missed the auctions. It's probably best that I did though.
Well, what happened was, man, I went to this the second Sunday of every month. They have this antique fair, like 20 minutes from my house. It starts at 6:30 in the morning, man. So I got up because I know this one guy that sells boxes of records is going to be there. He's there every time, and so I got there, I parked, and he was like right on the same lane where I parked, man. So I went to him, bought all the shit that I bought like 30 records from him, ran back to my car, dumped that shit off, and then went to look through the rest. I bought like 50 records today.
Wow.
Cradle Will Rock, Top Jimmy, Ain't Talking About Love. There's one song on yours that's on my list, Dan Squatch. Oh, sorry.
Oh, nice.
Accidentally removed him.
Hey, John.
Hey, so I was thinking I'll just be like a tiebreaker. Like I won't suggest.
No, you have to. If you're here, you have to make a list 5-1.
I made a list. But
okay.
My problem with Van Halen is any song I'm listening to, that's my favorite Van Halen song.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
right?
what I mean.
It was
so many
tough.
good songs. It's hard to pick one that separates themselves from the rest of them.
Well, I mean, but I agree with Vance though. There are some real clunkers in the Dave era.
Well,
for
there
sure.
are. I mean, yeah, but I mean, of the good songs, there's a lot of great songs. But are there 5 songs that like rise above the great songs?
Easy 20 right off the top. Just going through them.
Yeah, it would probably be easier to pick your 5 songs you don't like off the first 5 records.
I think I could do that.
And 2 of them would be instrumentals. One would be Happy Trails, and then like
Probably,
Big Bad Bill or something, and then the rest are all good.
Hey,
So
come
there's
on, Big
another-
Bad Bill. That's awesome.
I love it. I'm just saying, if you had to take 5 off.
Yeah, there's another goofy song. I don't know if it was on Mean Street or the second album.
Married life just changed him somehow.
But Fail Warning has that crazy instrumental. I love it. It sounds like you're in a subway.
That's the ending, right?
Oh wait, no, isn't that the second side when it starts?
Yeah, it's I pulled them out. Let's see,
Yeah, I'd probably
Afternoon walk in the
Sunday
park.
afternoon in a park. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one though.
How you been, John?
Pretty good. Busy.
Yeah. Busy's good,
Work-
right?
Working a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think next. What did we do Tuesday? Was it Tuesday that we did the Ozzy versus Dio, or was it Friday we did Ozzy versus Dio? can't remember.
I think Friday just had a poll. I kind of came in a little
Omni
late.
versus Dio. So I think Friday. Well, when I get
Friday.
back from Texas, the poll will be solo Sammy versus solo Dave. So that'll be the poll.
I'll go with solo Dave.
Actually, now I think next Sunday I'll be at a show, so I don't think I'm going to be able to make the show Sunday.
There won't be a show next Sunday. I'll be in Texas. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that works out.
Man, after this, I got to go through all these records and send invoices and start boxing shit up, man.
That's the problem with selling a lot of records. You have to get rid of them and pack them.
Well, I was like, going great. I'm going to sell some records today, and I came home with 50 more. So I'm like, going shit, man. Although I did sell about 20 of them today. So.
Hey Mick.
That's
hey
good.
Eddie. Who else is out there? Sam.
Although
Mr. Sausage.
Eddie's becoming a freaking, incorrigible kind of grumpy dude lately, man. It's like, I was selling a bundle of records. He goes, they're all crap. He's like, going, this, he was like,
I like Eddie.
Bad.
Mr.
Eddie's
Sourpuss,
like
though.
the inner brain, like, because I agree with a lot of his comments, but like I hold back, and then Eddie will say it.
Although I don't agree with his comment about the no debate. That is totally
everything after
incorrect.
no, that's not true.
That's totally
that's
wrong.
what I want to say, but I won't say it.
But that's completely insane to think that.
Hey Andy. Ed.
Maybe the Sammy solo stuff was
What's up,
more, of a
Andy G?
Texas, was more of a Texas thing, because Sammy was very big in Texas when I lived there.
Oh yeah.
He was huge.
There's Mr. Sausage's list.
Yeah, me being a tiebreaker guy, Mean Streets and Everybody Wants Some, absolutely. And I wouldn't argue about the other ones.
Not
Yeah,
one
maybe
of those songs is on my list either.
And same here. Not
Yeah.
one of those are mine.
This is
Everyone-
going to be so wide open, man. It's going to be so
Yeah,
wide
one
open.
of those got into my top 5, but then I bumped it back out.
But what's funny is, it's like I see that list. It's not on my list, but I would be fine with that. I love all those songs, so
Yeah.
it's not like
Well,
I
that's
say,
what
oh,
I'm
that's a
saying.
shitty list.
I'm
It's
not
like,
big on
sorry,
Take Your
man,
Whiskey
it's-
Home. I think that's one of those clunkers in my
I
opinion.
mean, it just was.
Everybody-
I was crossing stuff out left and right and switching the list around all the
Dude,
time.
show that piece of paper again, man. It looks like a family tree or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
what the hell?
just.
Oh my
Wow.
god, dude! I can't
Yeah,
wait
it
till
was
we do
just-
Zeppelin.
Holy cow.
That was because I listened.
That could be the cover of their greatest hits album, like if they did a box set or something.
It'd be cool. But yeah, when I was listening to the albums, I just started jotting songs down. Next thing you know, so I'm like, God, I got to get all these down to 5, and
Yeah, Take Your Whiskey Home's great. Yeah, Everybody Wants Some is my number one.
Don't reveal that stuff, man.
Oh.
We've got to keep it close to the vest, man.
Yeah, big surprise.
You know, it's
Well,
like-
it is because I would never put that number 1 on my list.
Yeah, really. It didn't even make my list, so yeah, there we go.
I don't know if there's a song that makes you feel more fun after hearing it. Put you in a better mood than that one.
Dance the Night Away for one. But I hope we'll all be friends after this is over.
oh,
This is one of the best raw songs that he did solo after,
Oh, yeah,
but the rest of
for
the
sure.
album is not too good. I mean, this is the real keeper off this album. This song.
Roger,
I did find a
think
copy of
you
this,
got the
too,
wrong
not
list,
long
but
ago.
yeah. I Want to Hold Your Hand is a great Van Halen song.
At least he went in chronological order too, right?
Yeah. Although did
Okay.
Lola come? Did Lola come?
Yeah, I was gonna
before
say
that?
Stepping Stone might have been 66,
Monkeys?
Lola 65. I don't know, 66. They might both be the same year.
Light Up the Sky, I'm the One, Romeo's the Light, Main Street. I don't think any of those made my list either.
One of them almost did, and I dumped it.
Boy, my list is probably gonna suck compared to everybody else.
I'd have to admit, have you guys heard the term? People say my Van Halen has wings, not rings.
I don't care what you say, Eddie.
Have you heard that term?
I
Two
never
people
heard
put
that.
that on because I did a Van Halen video just last Friday, and a couple people put that on the comments, and I'm like, it's funny, I never heard that.
You know, Eddie, you can say whatever you want as long as you don't call me lazy, call me scared, call me cocky, or say that you can rip a vinyl record better than me. Other than that, you're okay.
I saw a guy with the Van Halen, the first album logo on a shirt today in Dunkin' Donuts. An older guy.
Yeah,
He looked great. Just that very first.
Just the logo, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that right on the first album on your back wall.
Yeah. I'd get that.
So one of yours made my list. George.
Monsters
One of
of
yours
Rock
made my list.
replica.
Nice.
The band's on the back.
Poor Jason Becker, man. He's like makes this record. When he got diagnosed, right?
Yeah, this is right when he got Lou Gehrig's, right at this.
Oh, I forgot about Unchained.
And I mean, the people were seriously upset about that. I mean, I remember reading a story that CC DeVille went out and bought him a pair of Air Jordans, like the pump shoes, so that he could actually walk on stage better because he was having trouble already with his ankles and feet at that time. So he went and bought him like a $400 pair of Jordans just so he could play some shows with David Lee Roth. I mean, he was way ahead of his time. You ever hear those records, the Becker Friedman records?
The Cacophony?
Yeah. I mean, sure, they're not like songs per se, like in the proper sense, but they're amazing guitar players, those guys.
Well, he's still Shrapnel. He's still composing. Yeah, he was on Shrapnel.
Yeah, I have that.
He's still composing with his eyelids or something.
Yeah, I know. He's great even that way, you know.
They gave him like 10 years to live. He's lived like, what, 30 now?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
He keeps showing the Reaper the door. Like, sorry, I'm not ready.
Someone today told me on my auction was like, oh, the Grim Reaper wasn't metal. I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, say mama.
I did see Dave on this tour. It was Cinderella and Extreme with him too.
Yeah, I saw that tour too.
Yeah, it was good.
That'd be a great bill.
What tour is this? Skyscraper?
No, this is Little and Enough.
Had it been like
Little Enough. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see him there. I don't know.
He had two devils, these little devils that he had out in the audience, like on this little secondary stage, and when he would turn it, they would spit out like whiskey out of their mouth into the audience.
Imagine trying to do that today, you get sued.
Well, apparently he wasn't able to do it in old venues. He had to change it to iced tea in some places because they wouldn't let him bring the booze to do it.
Like Salt Lake City?
Yeah, probably. I mean, just this lead at the end is so great. That whole this little frill thing at the end he does is amazing.
What is that from?
I got a bunch of singles that I'm going to show. It's the back of the Japanese. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was an inner sleeve, and I couldn't figure out.
No, it's one of the Japanese, single sleeves.
Oh yeah, I remember you got that box, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I got that when it was that cheap.
Hey, Mitch.
They screwed up when they did that, and I snagged it. Yeah. It's like 40
you love Van Halen. What's your list?
That's how I got the live album. That's when it was like $17 or something. The Japanese Tokyo Dome box set.
You know, it's interesting how he got this guitar sound. It's a phaser, but he's also picking the note with the edge of his pick, just scratching the string, getting the sound.
This is definitely, you could hear the variac like on that. To me,
oh yeah,
anyway.
he has that phaser, but he's actually like scraping it on that against that sound.
This song
really cool.
Almost made my list. This song came very close to making my list.
This album's pretty underrated in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I wrote it down, but when I listened to this album again, I'm like, this is the reason why I didn't get this at the time,
Yeah, it's not as strong as the other one.
Yeah, and I just kind of dropped out. I mean, this was the lead single.
Our first Humans Being pick. Here we go.
Interesting.
This was a pretty dark song for Van Halen, though.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can tell the album is kind of, they've had their issues that things are falling apart with Sammy.
Yeah. Well, Eddie didn't like Amsterdam. He thought that the lyrics were a complete cheese, and he didn't want it on the album. That was their big fight on this album.
Hey, Eddie.
And he had that song actually written way back, like in the 80s already. There's a YouTube video, like a audio clip of that song, actually him playing it like way back in the day.
Hear About It Later is another good one. I didn't think about that one.
I just wanted Sammy's better vocals on this too.
Oh, he's a great singer, man.
Can you imagine Dave trying to sing this?
Yeah. I can imagine, but I don't think he could do it.
And you guys heard that rumor that I think Wolfgang said that Eddie was open to do like a tour, or maybe it would have been, I don't know if it was going to be a final, but he wanted to get David, Sammy, and
Malia.
Jerry
Yeah,
to
really?
a show, do a tour to all three of them. They were going to call it the Kitchen Sink.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Well, that's the story Wolfgang.
I mean, you might have said that. Like,
yeah, Wolfgang, were talking about it, but I don't,
Well, the
would it
thing
ever
is-
come to tuition? Would it ever happen? I don't know.
But the
just
thing is,
fact that
it's
the
not
conversation
unbelievable
just kinda-
because Sammy and David Lee Roth did tour together. They had a tour together.
Yeah, but
So
the
they
logistics,
did tour.
like who's going to close? Who? Okay, so
yeah,
we're
it
gonna
wouldn't last
flip-flop
5
the
minutes.
songs.
Even just the press release, they argued over who was talking more.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It would never.
Dave would be like, "Oh, we're going to close with my song." No,
Wow,
no.
number one is Panama. Wow.
Well, I mean, I think Sammy would take the high road if you ask me, because I mean, look, if they were to go and sing right now, Sammy still sounds good. Dave, not so good.
Can Sammy swing a samurai sword?
I'd rather hear good vocals, to be honest.
Can you do the synchronized
I wanna
dance
see a
thing
show.
with the ribbons?
Oh, he
Can you
still
do the
gives a
ribbon
show,
dancing?
Sammy.
You know my point.
Yeah, I know. There's no question that Dave's a great frontman and always has been.
I know DOA is going to be on your list, Mitch. I know it is.
I used to write my initials like the Van Halen logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have the V, so I would just take that H and turn it into a K.
I knew DOA would be on
Nice.
your list.
And it's like all over my yearbooks in high school. or whatever. I would sign like that'd be my.
So you were
can
into them
totally
like
see.
you were into them early on, like high school days.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew the songs on the radio, but yeah, like in the video, I think the first thing I picked up was the Pretty Woman single.
Yeah, I remember.
It's like
I
the
watched
first
your.
thing I ever bought. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched your
So-
video there.
I think it was around, I was buying records then and getting into stuff more around. So, yeah, the early '80s stuff.
Yeah,
I was in high school. I was in high school when Van Halen 1 came out. I remember getting that album and putting it on for the first time and hearing that shit and like going, "What the fuck is this, man?" It was like it was a jaw-dropping moment by far.
They were my
Yeah,
favorite
I mean-
band. My first favorite band. Maybe AC/DC, but
Yeah, I mean, I went in deep, but it was just around that time THROWDOWN came out, so it was like, oh, a new
Yeah.
Van Halen album. So, '82, I was a freshman in high school, but I mean, I knew the
this
songs
is my favorite one, Malaya.
prior. What do you got?
She's asking if anybody has tattoos on the panel.
Yeah, I
Is
got
that,
one.
is that the Pizza?
No, that's the Gibson Les Paul, a Gibson Flying V, and my two flags of one's my mom's side of the family and the other's my father's, the German flag and the Slovak flag.
Yeah, I got one on my arm, but that's it.
Dive It Down was my first record by them when it was new.
You could probably
and it
guess
was-
what's on my arm. Oh, was it John? See, yeah, I think that was.
Yeah,
it
I
on
bought that
cassette.
new. But my older cousins went to Van Halen, so like I knew some, but then Van Halen 1 had to be within a couple weeks later. I just went nuts over them.
Yeah, I got Diver on a cassette. Eventually got an album
Thanks,
later.
Malia.
And
I
I remember
used to do a
saying,
video on
I used to call it Diver Down. Like I didn't realize that was a scuba diving flag or anything. I had to be like 11 or whatever. I don't know what year that came out.
Yeah, I got a couple years of it.
Diver Down.
Different day.
That's funny.
But I thought it was like some sort of like disco, like dance saying, like Diver Down. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
That's almost as good as my pronunciations. You fit in perfectly with us, John.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Chief.
Just don't
That's what I was
say-
thinking. Which
just
I
don't
thought
say
sounded
Thunder.
cool, actually. Dirty Deeds and
Hey,
the
Trucker.
Thunder Chief. And I'm like, yeah, Indian Thunder Chief or something. I don't know what he's doing, but
Sammy made my list.
and then,
Maybe, perhaps multiple times.
then you get the record and you're like, oh, Thunder Chief. But I was like, Thunder Chief. I go, I like Thunder Chief better.
Thunder Chief?
Yeah. Well, that's my top, like, screwed up lyrics or whatever it is.
I got so many of those lyrics like wrong when I was a kid. I mean, there's a part like in Xanadu, but that where on the Rush song Xanadu, where at the end he goes, "Whoa, is it paradise?" Before they go into the guitar solo part, he goes, "Whoa, is it paradise?" I used to always think that he said Moby Dick Paradise, and then my friend's like, "What are you talking about? He doesn't say Moby Dick." He said, "Whoa, is it?" And I
Wow.
for years thought that he said
Got
that.
the dad out of that, really.
I still fuck up lyrics constantly. And look at Rush's
Oh,
first album. We just talking about fucking I can't remember what song it was. But I saw almost every song I fuck up lyrics, man. It's like
But as long as you don't fuck up the most important.
Finding My Way.
song.
Finding My Way. The beginning of Finding My Way. I have no idea what he says. I still don't know what he says.
Yeah, well, it's very Canadian of that song. But I mean, as long as you don't fuck up Rivendell, sunlight dances through.
You know what's even sadder is that I got a copy of Fly By Night today, and I had to go listen to a bit of Rivendell because it's a very quiet part of this album.
There you go.
If it was noisy, and I was almost crying having to listen to it. I was just like, oh,
It
my
hit
God.
you in a good spot there, didn't it? You were like, wait a
Oh,
minute,
it hit me in a
maybe
bad spot, a really bad spot.
it was too harsh on this song.
It hit me like a colonoscopy is what it hit me like. So yeah.
Ouch. That reminds me.
Come on, it's
I
not
gotta
that bad.
Rivendell is a horrible song. If I had a top 5 worst songs of all time, Rivendell would make the list. Yes.
Well, that's we could do that. Not of all time, but I mean, of a band. Eventually, we could get into that if you like.
That'd be cool to see what our worst songs are.
Yeah,
Well,
least
what
favorite
band?
song.
I
Or
mean,
whoever. I don't
We
know.
could just do Hobbit song night.
There you go.
Oh god,
All right.
that'll
Sure.
be painful for me.
Hobbit Prague. Yes, I'm down for that for sure.
I'm hearing a lot of Jethro Tull.
Ramble on will make number 1 for John.
That's such horrible production, man. That brittle 80s, 1980, what is it, 84 on this song? 82. This is 1982 brittle.
Yeah, is this the one that has like panthers or tigers on the
Yeah.
cover?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
I
like
didn't like it.
Like masks.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I only listened to it once.
It's like Keith Olsen, like, in his freaking,
In his digital studio of his.
yeah.
I have one knob, one control here.
Tom Petty, I mean, and it's like going, I want lots of knobs. I want faders. I want to play with the stuff,
Oh yeah. I want to play with shit, man.
I'm paying for the studio, man. I want to, Pretty much the last thing Pat Thrall ever did. That I know of.
What, did he
Oh,
just
they did
retire?
No, they did the Dragnet song. They did the Dragnet theme, him and Glenn Hughes.
Hey Melinda, how you doing?
This is the city of crime. Yeah.
Hey Melinda, if you have your list, you can come up if you want to be the 5th.
Hey, Melinda.
I think she posted a list last week. She might want to post it and like redo it. So yeah. But what order is it? Is Light Up the Sky number 1, or is Ain't Talking About Love about 1? I'm gonna assume it's Ain't Talking About Love.
Light Up the Sky, that's good. There's so many good
That's a great
ones.
song.
I know, man. It was
I think you
really-
could play like some of these songs, and then everyone will change them. A good portion will change their mind.
Don Landy
Oh.
produced them. I do believe.
I
Don
mean, that
Landy
first
did
album took
5150
up most of
and OU812, but then of course Andy Johns did For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and Bruce Fairburn did Balance.
No, you can't do two lists. You can't do a Hagar and a Roth list. I will not show your Hagar list. I will remove it. You have to do top 5. You can't do top 10.
Mix it, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's still one band. It's even though they had different eras.
Yeah, it's got to be one thing together.
It's too easy to make 2 lists like that. This is why it gets hard when you have to do, one combined list.
I mean,
it's
even
like
though
we did top 5 Black Sabbath songs,
So Melinda stands by her list of last time.
Okay. He's not wishy-washy at all. So in about 10 minutes, we'll do this.
all right, last minute changes. I don't know.
Oh, you're so indecisive, Vance. That's great.
It's hard, man. Every song's,
I gotta see if I remember it.
I just love it all. That's the problem. I do.
You're a band's like wet dream. Like this guy
am.
can make anything, he'll love it.
Even if the band's playing shitty, I'd be like, oh, it's a good show. I don't know. I can't. I'm not up there doing it, so I give them that much respect. It's like
that's the whole point. It's supposed to be tough.
Yeah, it is. It was really tough, man.
There we go. She stands by the list.
Is Panama 1 or is they
talking Panama
about
number
1?
Panama was
number 1. That's 2 votes for Panama number 1 so far.
It's a good song.
The surprise on that list is Romeo's Delight.
You know what, man? If Panama wins again like Spirit of the Radio did last week, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be really pissed. So.
You never know. We'll see, right?
Hey, no matter what John says, this is a good album, Malia. John may not like it, but this is a good album. At least I think so. The production's bad. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't say it was a bad record. I said
give
like
a hint.
Well, if you didn't like it, you're saying it's a bad record.
No, because there's plenty of great music that I don't like. You know what I mean?
I got it. Yeah.
If I said this is a terrible album, it was too middle of the road and 80s produced for me, but it's decent, right? I'm not getting rid of it,
Here we go, round and round and round. That's a good song, Run Around.
I like Run Around.
That whole album is really good. Even Pleasure Dome is pretty good.
How about Spank Line?
Spanked is kind of... It's okay.
This one would probably be my number 6 for the time. I didn't put it on there because it's a cover, but I love this song. This is a feel-good song for me. This is just a...
Yeah.
Eddie, that's your job, Eddie.
Say it, John. It sucked. Eddie.
This song's not a cover.
That's right, it's not.
This song's not a cover.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about something else.
Yeah.
My mind is addled right now.
Maybe second guy. I was like, what?
You're like, wait a minute, I said I have no covers on mine.
Yeah, well, no, but I was like, I never knew this was a cover.
You're no good to the cover, so yeah. I was thinking it was like Linda Ronstadt. I have no idea what I was thinking. Are y'all singing the same song?
Yes. Although there's a lag between our
okay. There was like a freaking like a Space Echo tape delay going on there.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill K, what's going on?
Vance, you ever hear Rob Panique's story when he ran into David Lee Roth during the tour of this record?
Oh, I don't know if I've heard that story.
Rob Panique was a big Van Halen fan when that first album came out. And he was working at a record store or a poster store, and David Lee Roth came into the mall on roller skates. And it was during the second album, and he went up to Rob Panique, said, long hair, Van Halen fan. He says, hey, how you doing? Are you coming to the gig tonight? And he goes, nah, what happened to the second album? It's real wimpy.
Nice.
What happened? And Dave was like, he's like, I'll get you free tickets. He says, no, I got to work tonight. And He left. It's like a big regret, but he told David Lee Roth like the second album sucked.
That's hilarious. I didn't hear that.
Did you see Henry Rollins talking about when he saw David Lee Roth at an art gallery? He was at an art gallery with some artist guy, and David Lee Roth was there with like a bodyguard. It's a great story. It's on YouTube, man, but I won't go into it. But it's Henry Rollins. It's a great story about him and David Lee Roth bonding at an art gallery. So.
Henry Rollins is a good storyteller. That guy. His
story with him and Ozzy, that's a classic as well.
And his spoken word stuff is well received, you know.
How you doing, Jim?
But I do gotta admit,
Jim.
I think Van
What's up,
Halen
Jim?
is weak compared to 1.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
gotta put your record.
I never saw it.
There we go.
You know, I never saw it in real time, so I was buying it backwards. So I never made that connection. But I guess if you bought the first album and waited a year for the second album,
Yeah, I mean, there's a radically different tone difference in Eddie's guitar sound from 1 to 2. That's noticeably different, and I think a lot of people picked up on that too. That they were like, "Oh, what's going on here?" You know. And also, I just don't find, you know how it is though. You have your whole life to make your first record, and you got 6 months to do your second one, right?
Yeah.
So
but I don't think they had bad songs on the second album. I just think they were written more for the girls. They were more poppier.
they
And
just,
the record
you
label
know,
pushing them, yeah.
yeah, they
I
weren't
don't think it was
strong, I
because
found.
they had I don't think there's any filler on the second album. I just think it's more commercial, I guess. But then they came, Fair Warning made up for whatever like dip they had.
Well, I don't think anybody can say who's the best ever guitar player. It's all subjective anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Somebody Get Me a Doctor is good. I mean, Lighting Up the Sky is good. But I mean,
my
DOA I could do without. That's not that great.
In my world, Eddie Van Halen is one of the best guitar players ever. So,
Absolutely.
In my world.
Yeah.
Most important, one of the most important. Very
One
few
of the most
guitar players
influential,
come around in history that changes all guitar playing after them.
You know,
I think I would say he's the best ever, but he's definitely in my top 5 for sure.
Well, if you want to say influential or inventive, you definitely got to put Eddie
Oh
on.
yeah.
That's for sure.
And we'll get to
I
that
would
when we go through some of my songs for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
well, Fair Warning's like the guitar player's Van Halen album.
Timo Tolkki. Oh my God, Ed, buddy, I like you, but Timo Tolkki, really? Come on. You know who Timo Tolkki is, right? He's from Stradivarius.
No.
They're a good band. And he's a good guitar player, but he shouldn't even shine Eddie's shoes.
The Full Bug. Holy shit.
The Full Bug.
Actually, I have a Diver Down song on the list.
Actually, there's a guy who does this guitar video channel on YouTube, and he does like lessons and stuff like that. And he said one of the hardest songs he ever had to learn to play on guitar was "Hang 'Em High" off Diver Down. He goes, it sounds deceptively easy because it's really 2 notes, but the right hand picking is so complicated to do. It's really hard to play. You'd be surprised how hard some of these songs are to play.
Well, the first band that I worked for covered this song, and the guitar player, who's a phenomenal guitar player, amazing guitar player, Rick, he said this was a pretty difficult song to pick up the picking part,
Oh yeah, because it's a lot of it's like chicken picking and stuff too, right?
And this guy could play anything, Dimebag Darrell used to come watch him play and was like in awe of him. So they were, so this guy's a great guitar player, but he said this was kind of hard for him,
And we know Dimebag has a Bumblebee guitar, so that's on the back of Van Halen.
Yeah, the blue and yellow one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, black and yellow.
The one guitar that gets overlooked a lot is that black and white one with the circles on it. You ever see that one? That's like the Fair Warning era.
Oh, okay.
He has like a white and black one.
That's the one he's holding up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's not in the picture.
And so let's also give it up for Mr. Michael Anthony, who without him, man, that Van Halen background vocal sound would never.
Yeah,
ever
definitely big time. That
Yeah.
harmony on that, his voice in that's the Van Halen backup, the vocals, the chorus.
Yeah, probably one of the best backup singers in rock and roll.
For sure, easily.
It's an underrated guy. Who just
Maybe
never
like
gets
you'd put
his
in
due.
Roger Taylor or like
Chicago
Yeah, I agree
guy.
with that. I agree with that.
No, not the Chicago guy.
Petrucci, Eddie, I agree. John Petrucci's good, but I don't like him better than Eddie. I think Petrucci's good. He did influence a whole generation of guitar players, but I still think Eddie was a little bit more creative, like as far as showing sort of newer things on the guitar at the time. But that's also a time thing. I mean, it's also when, John Petrucci came out in a time when already guitar was really a popular instrument. Lots of things were already done, right? This is a great song. And one of the songs that keeps David Lee Roth's bank account full, because there's a radio station in Honolulu, Hawaii, that has this as their theme song for their radio show, and it's been played every single day for 20 years, this song.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a nice little bump for his royalty check.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of stuff you want to have,
Yeah. That or a Christmas song.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think Mariah Carey's always smiling when Christmas time comes? Her Christmas album sells like crazy every year.
Oh yeah, she makes like $1 million every Christmas.
Yeah.
Just the radio play, because you hear it almost every hour, some of these songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Every 2
And that's
hours.
just on one station.
And you can dial to be on 3 other stations, and that's just your area.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got those stations that go all Christmas all day.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
unreal,
yeah,
man. If you can get a good Christmas song and cut it, and that's going to be played every year on every freaking station, you're set on the royalties.
Featuring Steve Vai, which Mark bought a record of Steve Vai today. So
That's
you didn't
right.
have Flexible before today?
No, I had it always on. I had it on CD, and I had actually a cassette copy, but I've never had it on vinyl.
Oh man.
It's like the
literally
Racer
never
X.
listened to. I never listened to Van Halen 3 ever. So.
It's not a total bust, because I did listen to it, and where is it? I got it here. And you go back, and it's if you could break away thinking what you're expecting from a Van Halen album, I mean, it's a rock album. It's just everybody.
But that's
had
hard
this
to do, dude.
Van Halen, the third time, you're coming off 2 singers that were very successful.
Thank you, Cleveland.
It's like when.
We gotta get those out.
Nice.
What is that?
Puffy
stickers.
stickers. They're the puffy ones.
Oh yeah, I remember those stickers.
But I mean, the same thing happened with Motley Crue on that Motley Crue album. With
Yeah,
Robbie,
exactly. And it's also look at Maiden
And the
when they
time,
brought in
look-
Blaze
look-
Bailey.
And look when it came out. That was like '98, I think, when Van Halen 3 came out. I remember because I was working at a record store.
And I remember, dude, when Iron
Nobody
Maiden
bought that.
when Iron Maiden announced that album with Blaze.
Blaze, yeah.
With Blaze Bailey, there was press everywhere here in Canada, full page ads with that album cover,
Melinda approved.
and everybody was ready for it. Everybody was like, "This is gonna be awesome!" And then when it came out, it was like, "Oh God!" It was.
Yeah,
It's not terrible, but it's you're expecting Maiden, and it was Maiden light.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough for a third time. I mean, how many bands that have had a third singer that are successful?
Yeah,
with it?
exactly.
You see,
But they only had
AC/DC had
two
third
singers.
string. Well,
before
Axl Rose
Bon,
came
but
before
that's,
to them.
no, but who's the guy?
I don't think anybody
before
really
Bon?
knew that first guy, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Dave Evans.
yeah,
but I mean, he was really unknown compared
Well,
to.
hold on.
Yeah,
Deep Purple had Deep
they
Purple.
cut a
hold on.
video. They had the single.
Deep Purple
Right,
had
right.
Rod Evans, Ian Gillan, David Coverdale, Dylan Turner.
Black Flag had a bunch of
Yeah,
singles.
but does anything stick out from the Joe Lanternal Deep Purple album?
Well, I mean, that's 3 though. Without
Yeah,
Dylan
but
Turner, you still got
It was
3.
that the Coverdale era did do all right.
Oh, come on, man.
What do you mean? One of my favorite records is "Come Taste the Band."
I said the
Yeah.
Coverdale era did all right. I mean, I'm just saying.
Hey, Steve.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Do you want to be the 5th? Do you have the list? Because we're going to do the list right after this song. After this song, we're going to do the list.
Actually, Sabbath had 3 singers. I have more, but
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
singers
more
that put
than
out
that.
great
Shit.
albums. And they had a
Ozzy,
lot.
Dio, Gillan, and Tony Martin, and Glenn Hughes. They got 5.
Yep.
I mean,
I knew they had
not a
5,
lot.
but I don't know if the other albums were 10-star records, but they
No,
definitely
but there's
survived.
5 singers.
Yeah.
And they had Ernie C there with production. Come on.
Even Ice-T was a singer for them.
Oh God,
Steve needs a link there, Patrick.
I got it. All right. So you need a list. You need to go from 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Again, the dreaded 1982 Keith Olsen production here.
Sound. Was this? Yeah, this is still Sound City, right?
I think so.
Do you have a better font on the spreadsheet?
I have the big font going right now.
All right, that'll be cool. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, are you wearing clothes? Okay, you're wearing clothes. Okay. Clothes.
Hey, so I want to say real quick, when I went to the KISS convention, Ron Keel was there, and he talked about actually signing a contract with Black Sabbath to sing for him. And then he went in and did some stuff, did a couple of rehearsals with him, and then never heard from him again. So he was like, technically, I'm still a fucking Black Sabbath singer. It's like I was never fired, so I'm still under contract.
That's interesting, though, that they did that.
I wonder if it's possible if he'll end up with the name of the band after they're all dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if he has it on paper,
Here's
hey.
the legal owner.
No, Sharon's going to have her brain put into a jar, and Sharon will control it forever. So yeah.
Yeah, but if
it'll be AI.
But if she has the clause
Sharon.
after all the living members, after all the members are dead.
Yeah.
it'd be Ron
Sammy
Keel
Hagar.
still.
No, Rick Springfield did it first, I think. No, it was Sammy Hagar did it first, then Rick Springfield did it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's his Sammy song.
You know, Sammy was huge in Texas, man. So it's like, as I grew up with Sammy, because Sammy was a big deal in Texas. Huge deal in Texas.
Yeah,
He headlined.
He was big.
Where is he from?
St. Louis. He was big.
Is it St. Louis? Okay.
Oh, no, I don't know
Bay
if he's
Area.
from
He's from the Bay Area. He's from the
Yeah,
Bay
he's
Area.
from
Okay, because I know the
California.
St. Louis guys, he's like huge there.
Yeah, in St. Louis,
Yeah, so
In
much of the
Midwest
latest sick of
Texas,
him.
he's just- yeah.
He's
All right.
he's such a West Coast California guy.
All right, so hang on a second. Let me share the screen here. We're getting ready for what we do on Sunday. Share screen, Chrome tab,
Little bug.
throwdown, share. Okay, go back here. Add to stream. Okay, so let me edit this so we have our participants here. So we have an extra participant. Come on, John. Okay. Oh,
Eddie. Look at Eddie.
is Eddie upset? All right, Mark, your
Yep.
list is first. So bring it
we
on.
going backwards. The last song first, like number
Yeah,
5.
five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So this might be a surprise to some, maybe not. Okay. So numero 5, okay, for me, comes from an album that I really, really love. It's a David Lee Roth era song. I'm gonna go with Unchained. The very first time I heard Unchained, I was like, wow, what the fuck is this? I was early on with my guitar playing at that time. I had been into Van Halen for a while, but when I finally picked up that album, because I got that album pretty late in the whole collection, so that was something that came to me pretty late. So when I heard it, thought it was fantastic. It's always been a big spin for me whenever I want to listen to Van Halen. Number 4 comes from a record that I know is much loved between myself and Vance here. So I'm curious to hear his list. 5150, and the song that I picked for number 4 is Summer Nights. That song, the very first time I heard it, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. and it shows the innovativeness of Mr. Eddie Van Halen, because that showed the very first use of the Steinberger tremolo system on the guitar. The opening bars of that song are transposed up three notches on the bar. He plays it, and when it kicks into the song, he drops it down, boom, back to regular tuning. It really threw me off trying to learn that song. Like, what the fuck is he doing with the tuning? And that's another great example of his ingeniousness when it comes to that. Number 3 comes from For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. When I got that album the first time, I was thinking, what the hell did Paul Gilbert join the band? Because I heard that drill go, that was a complete robbery of Paul Gilbert. But I thought Pound Cake was one of the best Van Halen songs in years that I heard. When I heard that song, I was like, wow, this is fucking great. I can actually hear a bass guitar for once now on a song, because for a long time, Michael Anthony's bass was very low in the mixes. And finally, somebody like Andy John said, you know what, let's turn up the bass guitar. And it made all the difference to me as far as that song went. So Pound Cake is number 3. Number 2 comes again from 5150. I really love that album. It's one of my favorite albums. And the opening song on that, Hello Baby, I'd never forget when I first heard that. And I heard that song, it was in my sister's boyfriend's house. He had a huge stereo system, like so loud, it was like your vision started blurring when he turned it up. And when I heard that song on this system, I was like, this is the most fucking incredible song I've heard in a long, long time. And the big riff at the end, and you know, Paul, again, Eddie Van Halen, his 6th string is a bass guitar string on that guitar when you listen to it. It's not a guitar string, it's a bass guitar string. So he got that little extra oomph on that guitar when he's playing that. So I always thought that was a fantastic song. And now my number 1, this is a special song for me for one reason.
What was your number 2? What was your number 2?
2 was Good Enough.
Okay, good.
The opener of 5150.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is a very special song for me, because the very first time I heard this song was in a parking lot of a mini mall where I was when I was 14 years old, riding my bike to go get something from the store. And it was blasting out of a Trans Am, T-top Trans Am. Loud as hell, loudest car stereo system I've ever heard. And I was like, wow, what the fuck is this? I've never heard anything like it before. And it started off with the symphony of car horns. Running with the Devil. The very first time I heard that song, I was like, wow, this is great. And that album had such a huge impact on me. Not only did I buy it on CD multiple times, I also got it on vinyl, right? So here's my vinyl copy on the, you know, the Warner Brothers thing. But I also went so far into it that I went out and splurged for the only time I've done this and bought a test pressing of Van Halen 1. I own, and this is my prized possession of this, is the test press of Van Halen 1. It sounds incredible, cranked up on stereo. I really love this album. And to me, this album is maybe not necessarily my favorite Van Halen album. It probably is, but Running with the Devil and Eruption and You Really Got Me, that kind of trio there was something that completely changed my life and my guitar playing forever and ever. So Running with the Devil is my number 1.
All right.
Okay. All right, Vance, you are next.
All right then. Well, unfortunately, Mark, I don't have any Sammy songs. Honorable mentions, but no, I didn't have any that went in there. So.
Wow,
I know.
I'm shocked.
I know it was tough. A lot, like I said, they would have rounded out a top 10. Songs like Best of Both Worlds, Good Enough, But I start off with off the first album, Ain't Talking About Love. I mean, it's just solid. The energy in that, and the vocal changes a little in there, and just I've always loved that song. So that I had to push that into number 5. Number 4, I'm you guys know the little story about that with this. So And the Cradle Will Rock hits number 4. That again with the little talk part, the little break that Dave takes in those songs like that guitar crunch and that, it's stuck with me. As a pop song, number 3, and it's just a feel good.
Why is John big? I don't get it. Sorry.
It's a feel good song. Is Dance the Night Away. It's a summertime song. Just like by a poolside, stuff like that. So I always love this song.
I believe I iterated that. You played that song.
I think we played it earlier. Number 2, big memories of this in high school. Just we played it earlier. That opening siren kind of sound of Running with the Devil. It just saw another just a cruncher. That bass coming in, it's thick and heavy. Just always love that. But number one, I mean, just an upbeat. Again, it has a vocal break in there, which is humorous, and it's just there's a live video of it and the energy of this song. I had to go with Unchained as my number one from Fair Warning. Definitely a rocking song, a party song. It just get you all pumped up. So those are my 5.
All right,
Ain't
Steve.
Talking About Love and The Cradle, Dance the Night Away, Run the Devil, and Unchained.
Awesome.
Steve, you're up with your list. 5-1.
All right, so the one kind of poppy song I'm going to throw in there at number 5 is Hot for Teacher. I've always loved the intro to that. As soon as the intro comes in, I'm into it. Even though it's not my favorite vocally, it's still one of my favorites musically. Number 4, it was almost going to be Jump, but Mean Street beat it out. Mean Street is just one of those deep tracks. It was so good that never gets much love. Number 3 is going to be Pound Cake. Number 2, Cradle Will Rock. Another just a fantastic song. Probably the song that really got me into Van Halen. And then number 1's Running with the Devil. It's just one of my favorite songs, period. I love that song, everything about it. So
yeah, that was
Mr. Bit Bob Boom, what did you got for us?
Okay, number 5 is going to be Ain't Talking About Love. Just fantastic. It's probably one of the most famous off the first album.
Yeah.
But the background vocals, everything, the way the riff is, the low notes and going into the chords, and then how rocking it is, it's absolute classic. And number 4 is going to be Unchained, just another killer, heavy metal killer. And number 3 is going to be Mean Streets. Definitely, this album was just the cover, all the little the kid with his missing arm, everything. It was almost an evil album. This is real heavy metal record for the time. People think of them as just a hard rock band, but this is a heavy metal album. If you listen to the songwriting, the guitar tone, everything, the riffs, but Mean Streets is killer. And number 3 is probably my favorite record. I wouldn't say it's the best, but my favorite record, and it's And the Cradle Will Rock. It's just like everything Van said. It's just so much fun. It's killer. And number 1, my favorite Van Halen song is Everybody Wants Some. No matter what mood you're in, that song, as soon as you hear it, that's as high as you could get after hearing a Van Halen song. And I would challenge anyone who doesn't like Van Halen or can't smile or tap their foot to that song. I'm skeptical of you as a person, as a music person.
You're not sitting at my table.
Yeah, but yeah, Everybody Wants Some.
Oh man, I can tell you this is going to be brutal when we get to the final thing. So I'm putting my list on the spreadsheet now. So this is going to be freaking really, really difficult.
Yeah, I put mine in the comments too.
I've already got everybody's in there, so we're good.
All right, good.
Okay, so let me make sure I got the fonts right. So yeah, oh wait, my font is bigger than your font, so I don't want that to be correct. So all right, so my list is my number 5 is Hear About It Later. I've always liked that song. I don't know why. I just like the vocals really get to me. I like that song a lot. That's my number 5. My number 4 is the song 5150 off 5150.
Nice.
My number 3 is Pound Cake off of For Unlawful Common Knowledge. I mean, that was I echo Mark's sentiment when I first heard that song. I was going, "What is this?" And I mean, just the songs were structured better with Sammy to me. There was a little bit more to them, not just Eddie. There was more to it than just Eddie. My number 2 is DOA. I thought that was one of by the last band I worked for. They used to do this song. They would open the second set when they were a cover band with DOA, and it was a great opening song to start that. It was just driving, great guitars. And my number 1 is Ain't Talking About Love. That was the first song that I gravitated to when I heard the first album when it first came out. I did love Eruption, and I loved Run with the Devil, but Ain't Talking About Love to me was the ballsiest of all the songs on that album. And it was the album that really turn things around. You know, you have to understand in 1978, disco was really big. And I lived in an area that disco was huge. And it was like, you know, most of the people were disco. And, you know, rock was like, you know, you had Ted Nugent, you had Rush, but had nothing like Van Halen. And when Van Halen 1 came out, it was a game changer. So that's my list. So now let's put the spreadsheet up. Now comes the fun part.
I'm surprised nobody picked Atomic Punk. I thought at least one
That
person
was
like that one.
Yeah, that was like a
I like it.
Honorable mention for me.
I would say that's one of their weaker songs, like as
Really?
far as songs go, but it's a great one.
So I'm gonna clear my list here on my thing here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 Running with the Devils. So I'm just gonna make a list of the ones we have multiples of. So we have a couple of pound cakes. We have 2 pound cakes, 3 pound cakes.
Yeah, 3 pound cakes. Yeah.
We have
3 Ain't Talking About Love.
We have multiple unchains.
3 Ain't Talking About Love.
We have 3 unchains.
I mean, do we have 3 Ain't Talking About Loves or 2?
Yeah, Patrick,
I have
Vance, and John.
John picked it.
Yeah,
Okay, there's 3 of those. Okay.
3.
Is there 3? What else did we have? You said
3 Unchained.
Unchained. We have 3 Unchained.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have any doubles?
Mean Street.
Mean Street has 2. Running with
Yeah.
the Devil has 2. 3. No, Running with the Devil. We already have that one.
Yeah.
3 and the Cradle of Rocks. Did we say that?
Oh yeah, we have 3 on the Cradle.
Yeah, 3
Rock.
Cradle of Rock. Yeah.
Wow. So all right, this is going to be. Do we have any more 3s?
I don't think so.
We have any 2? What 2s do we have? Just a
Mean Street's the only one I see right now.
Main Street. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the multiples we have. We have. All right, where's the spreadsheet? Shit, it's over.
It's on the
Keep looking.
screen.
No, I can't manipulate it while it's on the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So okay. So Running with the Devil.
I might play that
Cradle
one.
Rock. Pound Cake.
So Pound Cake's going to come in number 1, it looks.
Unchained.
No.
Unchained. And last but not least is Main Streets. Okay. So where's Main Street? There it is. Okay. So we have 6 multiples. Do we want to just get rid of Main Street now since we only got 2 votes?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd take Mean Street over Pound Cake, though.
Well,
No
Pound Cake
way.
got 3, so you could pound sand. Okay. So
What? No, I thought what the hell?
Yeah. No, you got to have at least the ones that are like multiple. You can't have a 2 over a 3. Come on.
Vance wants Sammy out of there completely, doesn't he?
No, I'm not saying that. I just one out of the 6, or then do we start?
Where did Patrick go?
Kind
No,
of
Patrick just erased himself now.
Oh, great.
He's fixing it.
See, and
There was a couple more
telling me to
votes.
pound sand, man. My evil powers.
what happens when you hit the back key and you're like in the wrong window? Sorry. All right. So I got to reshare the stupid spreadsheet again, don't I? Present, share screen, Chrome tab, throwdown. There we go. It's there. All right. I was trying to get rid of Main Street, but where's the all right? Main Street.
I wonder if we all could have one save. That would make it
one save.
I'll have to think this for next time. But like if 2 or more people vote to save something.
All right, so these are the 5 we have to work with. We have Running with the Devil and the Cradle of Rock, Pound Cake, Ain't Talking About Love, and Unchained. So Unchained was a 4 and a 5. Wait, how many?
5 and a 1.
A 1. A 4, a 5, and a 1.
I think Running with the Devil's going to come in first because it's got 2 1s and a 2.
Running with the Devil's got 2 1s and a 2.
I thought John had a 4. Okay.
Pound Cake is thoroughly at 3, obviously. Pound Cake has to be number 3. So that's obvious because it's 3 on everybody else.
I would say Running with the Devil's got to be 1. It's got 2 1s and a 2.
Yeah, I would say Running with the Devil's number 1.
Yeah.
Well, that might be it.
Okay,
and it's also the very first Van Halen song.
All right, so and the Cradle of Rock is a 2, 2, and
a 4.
A 4.
I'd say that's probably number 2 because it's got
What's the chat saying?
That leaves us with Unchained and Ain't Talking About Love. I'm gonna go Ain't Talking About Love because it's got a couple of ones. So
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yep, I'm fine with that. I voted for number 5, I think, on it, but I'm fine with number 1 or number,
Yeah, and then Unchained last.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And now,
so now the ultimate list we have is. Dun, dun,
hold
dun.
on. Now, if we have enough people arguing, can't we move the ranking? Do we all agree Pound Cake is better than Ain't Talking About Love and Unchained?
Better than Unchained? I think Unchained's higher than Pound. I'd say.
I mean, is there anyone that thinks Pound Cake is better than Unchained?
You guys voted like that.
I don't think it's better.
We voted.
Yeah, we voted.
No one
can you now say that you didn't?
Just because you non-Pound Cake lovers.
No, that's on our list. But when you put it to
no, but did anyone put Pound Cake above Unchained?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. I can't see all the names. I only see Steve.
Oh wait, no, I don't think anybody. Nobody had Unchained that had.
All right. I'll just let you guys go.
No. Mark put Pound Cake above Unchained. Mark.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I would argue that list.
I was just gonna see if we could argue the ranking and all agree, not fight each other.
We can't argue. Well, that's what we do. We can't argue the ranking. But, I mean,
I still think Unchained should be higher. I think.
Well, you didn't put. Did you put any Sammy songs on your list?
It doesn't matter if it's a Sammy song. I'm talking about
Yeah,
this list
well,
now. That's my list.
Sammy songs on your
The
list?
universe now
Doesn't
consists
matter.
of
I'm
these
just
5
saying,
songs.
It's these.
Yes.
Now we're down to the 5. So now we got to pull this.
Yeah, I would honestly.
Well,
I didn't pick Unchained, but Unchained is a better song than Pound.
Running with the Devil wasn't on my list either, and I'm not crying about it being number 1.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not crying. I'm fine.
We're
If you
not
want to
crying.
end it this way, I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
discussing
fine.
if
No, I mean,
all of us can agree on changing the ranking. If we can't, then leave it as it is. But
Yeah.
all right. Do we need a majority, or do we have to come to a consensus?
I'll sit it out.
Well, or no. Let's lay some ground. This is only the second.
No, I would think
second
I
we've
would
done
because
this.
I didn't think about.
Is everyone
Unchained.
happy with running? Is everyone happy with Running the Devil being number 1?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sounds like a good number 1 for Van Halen. And the
Okay.
Cradle Rock. Does that sound like a good number 2? Because it sounds like a good number 2 to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pound
okay
Cake
with
as
that.
being the 3rd best Van Halen song doesn't sit right with me. But
But you didn't vote for it.
I didn't.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You didn't vote for it.
no, I'm
so-
now
did.
talking
On this
outside of me. I'm just talking about like if I read this on a list, it might not be my picks, but I'll say, hey, that's a I
think
I'm
Unchained
fine
is
with
better
it.
than
If you
Pound
guys
Cake.
think
I didn't
it
even
is.
think about Unchained when I did my list. So
I don't know. I mean, Pound Cake when that came out, that was like a new phase of Van Halen. I think that had just as much. That had as much to me personally. That song had as much impact to me as a guitar player as Unchained or some of those other older songs did, because it was a completely different time period of Van Halen.
Here we go, Patrick. Bring down the list. Play Pound Cake and then play Unchained.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we make a poll afterwards and say, okay, which one do y'all want? You can vote. So, you want to play Pound Cake and Unchained? Okay.
No, I don't care. I'm just trying to make
look at
fun.
Malia's
Have fun.
I'm okay-
Malia's
I'm
got the
okay with
best
that, too.
comment of the night.
Pound Cake is just as bad as actual Pound Cake. Okay. All right. So, here we go. Maybe. Is it playing? There we go.
There you go.
I'm playing Pound Cake, by God. Polarizing, I'm telling you, man. Ice Cream Man, fuck Ice Cream Man.
That's a cover, by the way. So
Yeah.
That didn't even make my 20, even though I love the song.
This is a great video, too, by the way.
yeah.
So is Unchained. They're both live shots, right?
And I'll say something controversial here. I think Pound Cake has way better vocals than Unchained. I've always liked them better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
I mean, Sammy obliterates Dave vocally, I think.
You know, there's always that Dave camp, there's the Sammy camp, and neither shall the twain meet. It's just the way it always is.
So Dave is a better front man. He just had all the charisma in the world.
Yeah, he's a great front
far
man.
better vocalist.
Right, David Lee Roth is a great freaking Jim Dandy clone.
But I'll tell you something. I heard one thing from a producer. A producer told me one thing that I'll never forget. Being a good front man doesn't help when you're recording a record.
Well, it helped Van Halen.
You can hide a lot of it in the studio, though.
But I'm still going to stand by it. Sammy's a better vocalist on record than Dave is. Easily.
No, I think we all agree with that, though.
And I just thought the songs on this album were so much better arranged and written, and there was layers. It wasn't just the same shit, rehashed over and over again.
I'm not gonna. I just wanted to bring it up to have fun and stretch it out. I'm not gonna.
I'm with you.
It's fine to argue. This is great. I'm just driving Terry Keenan nuts because apparently Pound Cake triggers him. Did you have a Sarah Lee incident as a child or something or what?
Well, that's once we have our list, but when we get down to the final 5, I think we could argue about what's decided as the 5 and then rank them as we.
All right, so if we want to if we want to sit there and say, okay, once we have the final 5, we take all the rankings out that happened prior.
Right,
say that
it doesn't matter.
If we want to do that, then I'm going to say Ain't Talking About Love should be number 1. So I'll argue that all day long.
I'll agree with you. I'd be fine with that.
I would be too. I mean, that's another great one.
Okay, so now let's fight. We throw out all the previous rankings.
Did they used to do this on That Metal Show?
Yeah,
and they'd put their song, and then they would argue about the rankings, and they'd kind of convince each other till there was like they agreed or. Yeah.
So that's kind of the whole idea.
If we're going to throw out all the rankings saying, well, we had 3 number 1s for Running with the Devil, it's number 1, then I'm fine with arguing this shit because I would say Ain't Talking About my list would be Ain't Talking About Love and The Cradle Will Rock, Unchained, Pound Cake, and frickin' Running with the Devil. Running with the Devil with me would be the last on my list, personally.
Interesting. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I wouldn't agree, but
it's the most overplayed, maybe. But I would. I mean,
it's most overplayed.
If I would,
it was their number 1 single, their first ever single too, wasn't it?
It's so good.
I do applaud everybody for not putting Eruption and frickin' You Really Got Me on their list. I applaud everyone for that.
Well, the problem with Eruption is it's not really a song. What is it, like a minute and 20 seconds?
And that's the thing. As much as it impacted me hugely as a guitar player, he can't justify it as a song, I don't think.
Okay, so let's get this list down. Let's get this list down to where it needs to be. All right.
So you said Ain't Talking About Love number 1. Does anyone have a problem with that? Because I
still take Running with the Devil over Ain't Talking.
Yeah,
about
I would take Running with the Devil over Ain't Talking About Love.
So,
but I would take Ain't Talking About Love over Cradle Will Rock as number 2.
I'm ambivalent there.
I'll agree with you, Mark, just to keep it moving.
So what was your suggestion, Mark?
I said Running with the Devil 1, but I would put Ain't Talking About Love number 2 over In Cradle Will Rock.
Okay, I can deal with that. So
okay, and this isn't finalized. You could still argue.
Yeah,
but Running with the Devil number 1.
Cradle Will Rock. So how does this look? Running with the Devil, Ain't Talking About Love, and The Cradle Will Rock, Pound Cake, and Unchained.
I would Unchained before Pound Cake.
I am not putting Unchained above Pound Cake.
Okay.
I would put it above. We got 5. Who else would do it?
I don't agree.
Well, we just heard the song Pound Cake. 3. Why don't we play Unchained?
Okay,
come back.
Right. Okay, you're right. Good idea. We'll hear just enough of Unchained for people to bitch and moan and complain.
Just about 6 seconds.
Yeah,
and everyone's going to say, oh yeah.
Is Eddie here?
Hey, Melinda voted Mean Streets too, so we need to add that back in.
We got Dave's Yell coming.
I am not removing Pound Cake.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
See, for me, right away, I mean, it's a good song, but it's like, to me, when I hear this, it always bugged me that they always did the whole guitar on one side, the bass on the other. Just sonically sounds weak compared to Pound Cake.
Production
is baby.
Totally.
If you listen, in headphones it sounds like that. At home in a speaker or in a car, it doesn't sound like that.
Everybody's
I still think Pound Cake sounds sonically bigger. But
oh yeah.
Dress.
But one thing I'll agree with, Pound Cake and this song both have kind of tacky lyrics.
All right, so anybody? All right, so who has a coin? Who has a coin handy? We're gonna flip a coin.
Well, we got 5, so it's going to come up uneven. So 2, the 3 out of 2 is going to win.
Give you a break about what?
I say just leave it
Come
the
on,
way it
Pat.
is.
Give me a break.
Give me a break.
I think we got our list.
Okay. All right, now I got it. Now I get it now.
Yeah, George, Little Guitars is another great one.
Yeah, that was on my.
You'll get some legs tonight for sure.
Drop Dead Legs.
I think the list is good.
I'm fine with the list as it is.
Yeah.
I'd still put Unchained above Pound Cake, but that's me. Majority.
Okay,
rules.
well, let's vote. All right, let's vote. How many of us think that Unchained should be number 4 instead of 5?
Unchained.
aye.
Let's vote for me. I can't
Okay.
see me. Raise my hand.
All right.
Blocked.
All right, Steve.
I think we're good where it's at.
Okay, John.
Definitely Unchained above.
Okay,
Pound Cake.
me. I'm going Pound Cake. Mark.
Pound Cake.
Okay, so 3-2. That's
Okay.
the
All right.
I'm not
simple
going to
majority.
argue then.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go. This is the list. All other lists.
Linda, we
could
can't
be-
tell what you said me too. It's delayed.
All other lists could be lazy, cowardly, and cocky vinyl rippers like me. And so all right. What now? I will make a poll, and y'all can tell us how badly we did. You can choose what song you wanted, or say
Yeah,
other.
chat.
So
I
Well,
noticed
I wouldn't
nobody
say
in the
we, how
chat
badly
was
we
like-
did.
how
Yeah,
badly, how
right,
badly
John?
I did
Gallery
apparently. How
selected
badly
Gary
I
Strong
did.
song.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are really upset about this Pound Cake thing. I didn't think it was going to be that kind of.
I mean, look at.
that kind
I
of.
I think
mean,
Vance's list would be. I think more people would agree with Vance's list.
I think I'm just going to play all of Foreign Lawful Carnal Knowledge right now, just so people could just.
That'd be
really get
awesome.
into
There
bigger
you go.
things. So hang on. Let me stop the sharing. Okay, so I don't have any songs listed, so I got to play something. So what was our number 1 again? Was it "Running with the Devil"? Oh, Ain't
Yeah.
Talking About Love.
In top of it, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't played that. So.
Okay, so
So, what do you guys think Sammy's biggest song was? Was it that, or was it Right Now, or right? Yeah, Right Now.
Well,
Commercial.
right now probably was
Right
one
Now.
of the
That's probably his
was
biggest
probably
hit.
the biggest
commercially,
hit. Yeah.
Dreams was a pretty good hit, wasn't it?
There's
Yeah, but
like
then it wasn't in commercials.
see, Sammy did. I think Sammy was good at doing also some of the ballads. So like When It's Love was good. Love Comes Walking In. He did was pretty good. You know,
Finish Black and what's
Black
that
and
one?
Blue
When
was
It's
pretty
Love was
good.
a big one. When It's Love
Black
was
and
a
Blue?
big hit. I'll tell you it went to.
Sammy's a different kind of songwriter too. Like
Yeah.
Eddie was all about fun and party, and Sammy did some more.
Yeah, a little more love songs.
but I mean,
Yeah, more love
5150.
songs, more,
5150 is probably one of the best party summer albums ever. I mean, I think Vance even agreed with me,
yeah,
with
I
me
agree
on
with
that.
that. It's a summertime album. Absolutely.
Yeah, 5150 is easily a summertime party record.
Just that guitar tone alone is
Right?
amazing.
I mean,
Just the tone.
Oh yeah, I agreed. I mean,
mean,
and
I
he never
literally-
had this tone after this album. He never had it again.
I had about 6 songs off that first album that were on my, my top of my list when I was going on. I always thought this was kind of cool single I got from Hopper Teacher. It's a little like
Oh, nice.
opens up like that.
Wow, man! Eddie says that Van Halen's son.
Yeah, neat,
Holy
right?
shit! God, Jesus,
And
dude.
what's crazy is 40 years later, the 5150 amps still sell
I
like
don't think
crazy.
so, not yet.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Except for good
that
looking.
sound is the sound that. Do you know how many albums were made on a 5150 amp? It's unbelievable if you were to look it up. And I mean, technically, the funny thing is this song has got to be the most easiest song ever to play, and it's one part essentially. It's the same chords over and over and over and over again. A minor to G, G, B, C. I mean C, B, C. It's the
Mark.
same thing.
You're listening to too much prog. That's how rock and roll is.
But no, I'm saying that. No, I'm just saying that it's so simple, but
It's
it
been like that
works.
since day one.
You never heard
I
of
know,
4-chord
it-
songs, 3-chord songs?
Look, of course I have. I'm just saying though that I'm saying that it's a good
There's
song.
a world
and it's
outside
really
of
how
Rush,
simple-
and yes,
Yes, I know that. I'm just saying that
I'm
I was.
just
I'm
joking.
agreeing with you. I'm saying that this is
I'm
a
trying
good
to be
song.
funny.
Fine sale, baby. Ain't time to mess around.
Like I said, I love this record. I mean, I wouldn't have bought a test pressing for the money I did because if I didn't love it, you know.
Hey, you got to cut up free, baby. Hey, you got to cut up free, baby.
And that album also taught me a lot of things on guitar, like that thing at the Atomic Punk at the beginning. Oh, and by the way, Vance, I can't leave my buddy hanging out like this when I know that there's something that could be nitpicked on you later. For example, when you said that the guitar thing in the Cradle Will Rock, you know, the beginning thing, the guitar thing in the Cradle Will Rock, you know, at the beginning, that's not a guitar.
Oh,
that's a piano through a Marshall amp and a flanger.
Okay,
the poll
is up. The poll is up. You can vote for the top 3 that we chose, or you can say that we're clueless and something else. So the poll is up and ready. So vote away, people.
I gotta see this.
Let us know how we did, or how we didn't do. I really kind of like these throwdowns are becoming more fun now. The more people, you get 5 people involved, and it gets really hairy, man.
Yeah, because then it throws the vote off too, so you get a majority vote.
Yeah. And John's a troublemaker, plain and simple. You know, I mean that's
No, but I wasn't adamant about anything. You know, I could be swayed anyway. Maybe not pound cake over Unchained, but I'm not going to argue it.
Have you guys ever tried streaming this on your own channel?
Not me.
No.
Melinda, it's fine if it's not on your list. You should I just put the clueless part, so that's fun.
Yeah, no, I've done it a few times, Vance.
Have you?
Yeah.
So how does that work then?
It gets confusing for us. Like, so when it's streaming on your channel, they can't see everybody else's comments from Patrick's stream. They can only see the comments from your stream.
Oh.
Like, we can see everything in StreamYard, but they can't see everything. It doesn't share the comments, and it kind of screws it up.
So then it's like you're almost leaving your channel kind of hanging unless you get back.
Yeah, so like I have like 10 people watching on my channel, and I wasn't catching them all in StreamYard because it's showing everything. I think like 3 of us had it streaming one night.
Yeah, I guess that'd be if you had multiple screens, you could probably do that. But I don't know.
I haven't listened to Women and Children First in years. I need to pull that out.
You know, this is the one album I listened to, I think, the least out of their catalog.
Yeah, by far. Well, this and
Diver Down?
Diver Down. Diver Down does. I never listen to it. The covers just drive me crazy.
We should hear Loss of Control next.
Yeah, well, Patrick said
now, the Debut and Fair Warning are the 2 that I listen to whenever I'm in the Van Halen mood.
Yeah.
This record is not to be snoozed at, I think.
Oh, no. I mean, I think it'd be tougher to pick favorite albums. I mean, it just...
I don't know. I think that one's a little... Well, the first 2 are pretty easy for me. Like I said, the Debut will always be my favorite, and then Fair Warning is a close second.
Yeah, maybe it might be easier than you think. But yeah, the Debut probably...
All right, most underrated.
Maybe
Women and Children,
and then Women and Children. I don't know. Or I'm sorry, 5150, then Women and Children.
I think the battle for number 2 would be tough on that top 5. So I'd go like Women or Fair Warning. I mean, it's. And then
so what's the most underrated Van Halen song?
Underrated song? Probably a bunch of them off of 5150. I mean, going back to
I just
me and
mentioned
Mark were talking
Fools
about.
or Loss of Control. I don't know if they're underrated, but those, you know, I just looked at the record and there's so many good ones.
Actually, I would almost say Summer Nights is an unrated song.
Like, one song that I think that gets too much credit that I don't really like is, I don't know, I just never thought it was such a great song, and they've always loved it, and even on the reunion tour they played it a lot, was Romeo's Delight. I don't know, that song never really clicked with me.
I don't know, underrated, maybe On Fire or...
Well, I think
I love that song.
Off the first album gets played more. Like, I think there's no underrated songs on the first album. Pretty much every song is a known song.
I mean, yeah. I went through it again.
I would agree.
I would say On Fire is probably their most underrated song, I think.
That or maybe even Little Dreamer. That doesn't get played a lot, I don't think.
I mean, I had to make it a challenge not to put all 5 out of their first album. And definitely done that.
But
Yeah,
even
I think
5150, like unless you're a guitar, I know a lot of people that would not know 5150 at all. Like they know the
song
album,
or
but
the
not
album?
the song.
The song.
Yeah.
And then that song is that's like, I mean, maybe you're right, because from a guitar player point of view, that's one of the more interesting songs to learn on guitar for sure. That song, you know.
I hate that. I just hate that bass line right there. That
I know.
so cheesy. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I do.
Michael Anthony's bass sounds been always terrible until they got for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Then it got better.
Didn't Eddie start playing bass on that album?
I do like Little Guitars too. That was a
No, the
Yeah, that's a
guitar
good
is
song.
great.
Little Guitar is a good song. I would agree with
I
that.
wouldn't say that's underrated though. I mean, that was a pretty popular song for a
no,
while.
it wasn't. But that definitely would squeeze into a top 10 probably. What else did I have on this?
Can you play Loss of Control later? Oh, well, this is fine.
Actually, since we brought it up, can you play On Fire?
Yeah, I play that too.
What about Cabo Wabo? Any fans of that?
I like that
I
song.
love Cabo Wabo. I love
Tequila?
Cabo Wabo.
Feels So Good. Feels So Good is a pop song. I mean, that's a summer album, a summer song too.
I just lost an auction.
Oh, what were you trying to get?
As a single.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Yeah, I missed out on a Zeppelin. It was a Mexican single for I think Dancing Days.
What was the other song somebody wanted to hear? What was it?
On Fire?
On Fire and Romeo Delight. Was that it?
No, Loss of Control. John wanted to hear.
I'm fine. This is all good.
What's the poll? How's it going with the poll? People voting?
Okay.
I bet you most of it's going to be You're Crazy.
Yeah.
Other
Pound
and
Cake's
Ain't
number
Talking
one.
About Love are tied. Yeah, you guys are clueless and ain't talking about Love or tied. And the Cradle Will Rock is actually losing by quite a bit.
You guys are clueless is in the lead. I love that. Nothing like good friends, right? Yeah.
Well, Van Halen's definitely one of those bands. I think whenever you came into Van Halen, that's going to be your favorite Van Halen.
There's a lot of Nuno fans in the crowd. Which is not a lot.
Yeah. Gary Sharon.
Gary Sharon.
I knew it. I'm tired and drinking. I knew it was wrong. I just couldn't think.
Yeah. Hey, same band.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, have you guys heard the new Extreme? Everybody's saying that's one of the best things they've done lately.
I don't know, but Nuno blew out his
I haven't
knee
heard it. No.
playing basketball.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because they have so much push behind that album now. Hopefully they're not going to
Yeah.
miss out because of his stupidity now.
I watched something where I was watching an interview where they were talking to Nuno. This is years ago, and I guess during the tour for the second album, whenever he messed up on stage, if he missed a note on stage or anything, he would go back to the hotel room and just practice that song for like 6 hours straight. And I guess one night he ruptured a tendon in his finger there, and the doctors were afraid he wouldn't be able to play. He wouldn't be able to hold the pick again.
Really?
He went like almost 6 months where he couldn't touch a guitar, and they had a brace on it so that he could eventually play again. He said it was the hardest thing he ever did and the best thing he ever did because it forced him to kind of step back.
Yeah, he does get a little upset. The funny thing is, when I went and played it with my band, we went to the Azore Islands and played a festival years back, and we actually stayed at the Bettencourt house, the Nuno's family's house, because
he's Portuguese. The Azores are Portugal.
And his brother Louis in Bettencourt put us up, and he knows all kinds of stories about how Nuno was really crazy when it comes to guitars. He'd be in, like, when he was young, he'd practice 10 hours a day in his room. He was like really obsessed with the guitar playing, and even when they were doing the albums, like, he was like meticulous on so many things, and it shows, you know.
Well, Nuno's one of those guys, man. I know a lot of guys that hate Extreme but they fucking idolize Nuno Bettencourt, you know?
Yeah.
Is
He's a great guitar player.
Is Vance calling it a hit on us because we didn't vote for his freaking one?
Maybe he's ordering a pizza.
I'll be right back, guys.
Can't your secretary take those calls?
Nah, the chick got locked out of the building. I got to let her in.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that what they call it nowadays? Locked out of the building? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
2-minute man. Here we go. Timer's on. How long is this dance going to be? Here we go.
2 pump chump.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Good night, Ed. Hey, Dave.
Good night, man. I would beg to differ there. Most of Diver Down's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, go back and listen to Diver Down again.
Yeah.
There's some bad songs on there.
Yeah. But it's not any more controversial than playing a Sammy Hagar song, apparently, because people lost their fucking minds when I played Pound Cake. Literally lost their shit. So.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you're such a big Van Halen fan, John. I would not have thought this would be up your alley. I thought this was the whole David Lee Roth thing would have been like, something you weren't into. So.
Me?
Yeah.
Wait, oh my God, he's like my favorite person in all rock and roll. Oh, I'm such a Van Halen fan. Like since I was a kid.
Yeah.
They're so rock and roll. I mean, that's what I'm about. I like simple, fun rock and roll.
Well, I mean, Eddie, but they're not simple. Look at Eddie Van Halen. He's not simple at all.
To me, if you know the history of rock and roll, you try to find patterns, and I think Van Halen is Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps. They filled the same space at that time period. We had a really good hotshot guitar player, Cliff Gallup, and yet they played simple music and had great musicians. You had a wild drummer, like a stoic bass player, and then the flamboyant, like charismatic lead singer. But playing simple songs, but with real great musicians.
Well, which band is this, John?
Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps from the
I'm
the original lineup.
Jump is one of their biggest hits, and it's the simplest song, one of the simplest songs ever written.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, check out like Race with the Devil, double guitar solo, modulate
so
up. And this is 56 before they had a template for rock and roll. He's like pretty much Jeff Beck's hero. But there was no, besides like you had Scotty Moore, you only had like a year of rock and roll guitar players. So you had to either invent your style or copy, Chuck Berry or Scotty Moore.
Feel free to vote. You guys are clueless, okay? So feel free to vote. You're clueless, okay? We are clueless, not you. We're clueless.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in my list here.
David Lee Roth. I like David Lee Roth and I like Sammy Hagar. I'm okay with both of them, so I don't have a preference. I love songs off all eras of them.
So Gene Vincent and the what?
Blue Caps. Well, just look up Cliff Gallup. Unbelievable guitar player.
We were talking about the Red Caps so much the other night. I got it stuck in my head.
They were named. I think they were named the Red Caps because of the Blue Caps, if I remember.
Oh, that's cool.
We got Dio and his Red Caps. We got Gene Vincent.
My memory
and his
on.
Caps.
Well, it's funny because we talked about that song because of the Reverend Gordon. He covered it.
Boy, you got no game whatsoever, dude.
Yeah.
Can we do Riot albums? We could do Riot albums, but I don't think people would be that upset about anything. I'm trying to pick topics that people will get passionate about, which obviously this one people did. So
I really love this song, man. It's such a great song.
Only if you come up, Malaya. See,
I'm just waiting to do like top 5 Led Zeppelin songs and watch Vance go to rehab. That's what I'm waiting for.
That'd be like hearing a Straight Jacket.
Yeah.
So John, is this the album you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's singles. Not everything's on that album, but yeah.
All right.
That's a good starting point.
Yeah, it's a great starting point.
That's a good sentiment, Melinda. Dave or Sammy, you pick Eddie.
Cliff
Yeah, Eddie is kind of like the
I think he only cut like 29 or 30
Melinda,
songs. Amazing.
Melinda, I asked my sister that tonight when I was up by my parents. She said the same thing. She said,
Mark, I bet you've heard
Eddie.
Race with the Devil.
Like,
Race with the Devil is a huge song. I bet you've heard it before.
They were the template for the rock and roll band with like the crazy drummer and just like Trash and Hotel. They were bands as opposed to like Elvis and backup guys. They were the rhythm guitar player, like lead guitar.
Mhm.
It was the perfect band.
Some Thin Lizzy albums would be very difficult because there's so many different eras of Thin Lizzy. You've got like the Eric Bell era, and you've got like the early, the two guitar Scott Gorham, Brian Robertson era. Then you've got
Heavy metal era.
the Gary Moore, with the Black Rose era. Then you've got the Snowy White, the Renegade, Chinatown, and then you've got the John Sykes era. It's like Thunder and Lightning.
And they're
the Lightning.
all fucking good.
Yeah, they are. But that was
Every era of that band was awesome.
It was hard. It'd be hard for me to do top 5 Thin Lizzy albums, let alone Thin Lizzy songs.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a band like UFO, I could do top 5 UFO albums pretty easy. But top 5 UFO songs, that would be difficult for me.
Yeah, this song is awesome.
This song should have made the list for me. This song should have made my list.
It's what I said initially is like whatever song you're listening to is your favorite song.
Yeah. Hey, good night, George.
Good night, George.
Later, George.
Good night, George.
So
This is a great song, man. A fucking awesome song. Yeah.
So the chat voted we're all crazy? What was it?
Yeah, that's. We still could be right. We could be crazy and right.
That's right.
Exactly.
Now they're still actually we're not crazy. We're in last place for craziness. But Running with the Devil is number 1, and Ain't Talking About Love and Incredible.
I think Melinda Murphy has the wrong band, but is she doing that on purpose?
Come away, Melinda. That's your right heat, Melinda. It's your right heat, not UFO.
This is awesome.
Yeah, Mike, if we did top 5 Styx songs, all of mine would get from the Wood Nickel era, so none of you guys would know any of the songs.
I celebrate their entire catalog.
I love those. I love that era of Styx.
Yeah.
And Lady is on the Wood Nickel era, by the way. Lady is on the Wood Nickel era, by the way.
I'm just saying, most of the people watching that wouldn't. I don't think a lot of people are into the Wood Nickel. I think
That's like you could say the same with Journey on that.
Yeah, I love the Rolly era. I love that early Journey albums when they were a hard rock band.
Yeah, a little more.
Same with Styx. It was such good hard rock, those early albums.
UFO did do Come Away, Melinda on their first album, on the UFO 1 album.
Really?
Melinda just
Different
fooled
song.
you and me both, John. No, it's the same song. It's the same song.
Same song?
Yes.
Wow.
Melinda, you just schooled me and Bip Bop Boot both.
Wow, Melinda, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Wow. Although
I have that record. I don't even know if I know that.
It is an era of UFO that I don't listen to. So.
Yeah, me neither.
Ariel
But no
Bender
excuse.
with
No
Mark
excuse.
Bender.
I corrected her and I was wrong.
I tip my hat to you, Melinda.
Yeah, but you didn't call her out. I did, so I
Yeah,
apologize.
you did. Yeah. I still tip my hat to her because that's pretty badass,
Yeah. Her knowledge is very impressive.
Yeah.
That Tiger Tales band, they did a EP, I think, of covering thrash metal songs, which I'd like to get.
I've only got that one album from them.
Yeah, they
I
did
just
one.
I just heard they have a new album coming out too.
I don't have anything by them, but I don't think I do. But I'd like to get that. I think they were covering like Megadeth or Metallica.
Really?
Yeah, it's
don't think
and it
I've
was like
seen that.
88, 89, I think. It was an EP maybe.
I've just got the one album with the 4 pictures of the dudes on the cover.
I think Cloudy Milder has it. Like he showed it years ago.
That's probably one of those EPs or albums that are easy to get in Europe and we never see here in the U.S.
Yeah, that's exact. They're all over there. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, they used to be like $5-7, but I'm not paying to ship over a Tiger Tails.
Yeah,
I actually have the UFO version of "Come Away, Melinda." This is not it, but now that I have it, I'll play it. So sorry. Goodbye, Uriah Heep. Here's the UFO version, allegedly, but it's about a minute longer than the Uriah Heep version.
I really like the first 2 UFO albums. I know a lot of people aren't into
Hey,
them.
Alex.
I listened to Prince
The more
Cthulhu
space-
and what's it? Come on, everybody, and that's it.
What's the guitar player? Is it like Ariel Bender? Is that his name?
Mick Bolton?
Mick Bolton. Ariel Bender's the guy in Montalupo, right?
Montalupo, yeah. He was in the. I saw Ariel Bender was the guitar player in the last Montalupo reunion.
Wasn't he also in like Sacrifice, Black Widow, or what? Wasn't he in Black
Yeah, I think it was
Widow?
Black Widow. I think that was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think everybody would
not
agree that
mine.
the best Ted Nugent album is his debut. I don't think anybody would dispute that.
That's my favorite. Fat bass sound.
Yeah.
The debut, Free for All.
Was that-
So who wrote this song?
Oh,
Is this
is
a
an old
traditional
song.
or-
No, this is a traditional song. It was written by
traditional?
Fred Hellerman. It's an anti-war song, first done by Harry Belafonte in 1963.
Really? I never would
Okay.
have guessed that.
It was done by Theodore Bickles, Tim Rose, Bobby Gentry, Uriah Heep, Velvet Fog, UFO, Kenny Rankin, the Big Three, and the Mamas and the Papas.
Wow, I
And
never
John
heard
Miles.
any of those versions.
The Velvet Fog. They're not talking about that singer guy, are they?
No, it was a band. It was like a '70s
Oh, that
hard
Tiger
and heavy
Tails album.
kind of.
What is
Mel
that?
Torme, isn't it?
Is that like a Steel Panther?
Yeah,
Tiger Tails.
I think they were British kind of glam rock band.
Yeah, this is from
Were they
80
were British or were they European? I can't remember.
87.
Were they British or Swedish? I can't. Were they Swedish? Or...
I'm not sure where they
Yeah,
had
they're European. I just can't remember.
They had the dumbest names though, man. Pepsi Tate, Stevie James, Jay Pepper, and Ace Fincham. It's
Yeah,
a
they
good,
could be
it's
like
a good album.
Dutch or
Though. I really like this album.
I don't think I have any. Welsh band.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, that's it. The Velvet Fog. Mel Torme.
yeah. They're from Cardiff. It says.
I think they used to open for Holocaust.
Imagine that show. Tiger Tails followed by Holocaust. Those guys would kill each other in the audience.
Boy, Phil Mogg sounds like really depressing right now.
Yeah, they were a meandering lost band, really.
Yeah.
No identity. A band only the Japanese could like.
Well, it's interesting. So they did the first 2 UFOs, and then they did a greatest hits, and greatest
They
hits
didn't have any
live. I
hits.
think it were greatest hits
Yeah.
live or something like that.
Yeah,
And it's actually
I-
more sped up versions of the out songs from the first 2, and you can kind of hear them moving towards the hard rock of the 3rd album.
I think there was a twofer that was done by.
That's what I have. It's a
Is that
German
that?
two. It's a German twofer.
It's like
I-
it's like the album. Each album is on one side, so like literally like the album side is like 45 minutes. It's like ridiculous. I remember.
Oh
one
no,
of-
mine's not like that. Mine's 2 albums. It's
I might have the 2 for 2.
yeah. I've never seen it with one album on each side. I've got.
I remember it was it was cut so low because it was like 45 minutes each side.
Oh wow. No.
Crazy.
And actually, when I bought the twofer, I didn't even realize I bought it. I thought I had bought UFO 1, and then got it home and flipped it over and saw that it was UFO 2 on the
Yeah,
back.
I just have the single, the live one.
It's almost over, people. Here we'll get into some really nice UFOs.
Yeah, this is what I have on the early stuff. This is the first album, UFO 1, but this is a UK later, like 80s press of it. This one here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is the German twofer. On the front it shows UFO 2,
Yeah, I think
and
I
then
got
the back is it's the UFO.
Oh yeah. I used to see that. I almost thought I had
Which
that
one is it? Does it have this on the back, or is that it? Oh, okay.
No, the side the front's the cover of UFO 2, and the back is the
What was
cover of
that?
UFO 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
so you want to hear Pound Cake?
I have this a flying, but this is a UK like an 80s press of it.
Yeah, that's a reissue of UFO 2. Flying
Yeah.
is UFO 2.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That was probably in the 80s when they were trying to make money off the name
That
UFO, so they repressed it.
Yeah, it's AKA Records. So I found both of these on that, but I had that live album you were bringing up. This one.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah, this is. Except that whoever had it put the freaking price tag on it. Whatever.
But you can hear them becoming a hard rock band on that live album right
Yeah.
there.
No. So this is good. This I recently got. I guess it's UFO 2 flying. Just a repress
Yeah.
on Beacon.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, that's the original front cover.
Yeah,
for
it's the
them,
original
most part.
cover for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 1 hour of space rock.
Yeah. And then I had it as like a digital. I never seen it though. I think it was like a live album too. It was something like Crash to Earth or something, but it was that early era. I've never seen it on record or anything. It was some digital copy I found somewhere.
I don't know that one. So I've got the live, and then I've got a greatest hits from '73. That's just the greatest hits of the first 2 albums.
No, that's cool. Yeah. That's the early UFO I got.
Yeah, Cleveland. When I see UFO in the record stores, it's usually like Mechanics and stuff like that. It's always the '80s stuff. I never see.
Making
the 70s
contact and
album.
mechanics.
Yeah. And maybe Lights Out every once in a while. I'll see.
Yeah, Mick Bolton's on this one.
UFO's getting kind of pricey these days. Look, Eddie loves the early UFO albums.
Yeah, I like them.
Like UFO 1 and 2? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I could just imagine how boring they must have been live. You know, those early records.
A lot of dude. I love prog, but I've seen quite a few prog shows where I'm just fucking dying. Like 13 minutes into one of their songs, you're just like, oh my god, shut the fuck up and move on.
UFO's getting pricey these days.
Kansas was like that. Kansas would go into these 14-minute prog. They would do like a popular song, and they'd do like a 14-minute prog jam and just put you to sleep, and then do another hit song to wake you back up.
Ron Nevison.
Yeah, Dan, I like the early Hawkwind through like 76, 77, and then I kind of lose interest in them.
Why didn't you mention Mechanics is killer? We have a Mechanics song coming up next. I think that's the one I had. I love that album. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. That's it.
I just like the debut REO.
Look, Sophisticated Lady.
I love that song.
Sophisticated Lady with the bleeding bone.
I'll pull that record just to play that song. I love it.
What was a big hit that they had? REO.
And that era?
Yeah.
Well, Golden Country was off the second album, wasn't it?
Queen.
I like Golden Country.
Take it on the run, baby.
Yeah, that was a big
Oh,
one.
that stuff. Keep on Loving You was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was later though. Wasn't that in the 80s?
Yeah.
That was like 1980.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they had Roll with the Changes, Time for Me to Fly.
I have one of their
Back on the
greatest
Road
hits
Again.
albums. That's all I really need from them.
That decade, you know what it is? That Decade album. It's like Decade of Hits or something with the red cover.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, If you get that. But I love that. We did the live album thing, and I love their live album. So you get what you play for.
Roll with the Changes is a great song.
Take care, Terry.
Phenomenal song. Night, Terry.
See you, Terry.
Night, Terry.
All right, now I can play Pound Cake. I'm going to play Pound Cake for the next 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
Pound it into your skull.
I'm guessing this is Michael Schenker era UFO.
No, this is Paul Chapman. First Paul Chapman, not the first.
The
This is
last
the first
Paul
one.
Chapman, right?
Last Paul Chapman.
Oh, that's, yeah, exactly. I just got a Mike Chapman album. What was that one I got?
This is probably my favorite Paul Chapman era album.
Really?
Yeah.
This is my least favorite.
Figures.
I mean, it doesn't mean I dislike it, but
I know. But yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna see which one I got again.
this is the last like really, really good UFO record to me.
yeah. I would
Yeah,
agree with that.
definitely.
Oh, I got No Place to Run. That's the one I got.
Yeah, that's great.
Is that the one that was done by
That's not George
George
Martin,
Martin.
right?
George Martin?
Yeah,
Yeah, George
yeah.
Martin, yeah. And then there was the Wild and Willie and the Innocent. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild and Willing and the Innocent.
That's funny. I saw it at the local record store that I recorded
REO
here. And
Station Wagon.
had a really nice,
I tell
really
you what,
nice
though, I
copy
think
of it.
UFO is another one of those bands. Their album covers just fucking
Nothing beat-
killed them, man.
Mis-
I know, with a
REO
name like
Speed
UFO, they could have really had some.
This
cool
album
stuff,
cover
right?
was so
REO
stupid.
REO Speed Dealer. That was the best name for a
REO
band.
Speed Dealer.
The cover had like a big wrench on it. It was like a mechanic, you know?
Yeah, it's like a brown album cover with a big. It just looks stupid. It doesn't look like a metal album. None of their albums look like metal albums.
No,
They weren't
Hypnosis ruined the career of UFO. I think they could have been bigger.
But I mean, even their good albums, their good early albums, didn't have very good covers. They never had good album
Awful
covers.
covers. The only ones I'd say Lights Out is cool, and then the live album's fantastic album cover.
Yeah, those two are great album covers.
Yeah, Lights Out's probably their only one that looks like a hard rock album.
No Heavy Petting was weird, man. It had that guy with like
Yeah,
a monkey
that was
with
a
tube
stupid
on
album
it, and
cover,
like,
too.
what the fuck?
And you know
Well,
what's
actually,
funny?
The
You
later
bring up-
albums are even worse.
You bring up a good point, though, John, because if they had maybe covers that would have attracted people's attention, maybe they would have did better, you know?
Oh, it's not even up for debate.
It's the same thing with Riot. The reason Riot wasn't bigger is because their album covers were stupid for their entire career.
But they tried
Yeah,
that with
'cause you're-
Corset, man. They had the cheesecake cover with the guy and the girl in the shower.
Yeah, that's awful.
And the faucets.
Yeah.
But that's not even a
Corset,
cheesecake
awesome.
cover. It just looked awful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Love Drive, you know, Love Drive had like the chick with the bubble gum and the boobs, you know.
But that hurt the Scorpions. They didn't get big till Blackout.
They had
They
Rock
didn't
and Beat
care.
or something.
They-
with their
You're
covers.
marketing
They always had weird covers,
To
yeah.
12 to 17-year-olds at the time, and you're flipping through records, and you have
Maybe your
one
band is
second-
UFO.
Well, Session was kind of UFO-like. It was kind of UFO cover. It kind of looked
They should have
UFO-like.
stuck with this kind of stuff. You know?
But that didn't sell.
They
That didn't
tried
sell
it.
at all. That didn't sell at all.
I know, but the music got better, so they could have came up a little more creative. You know?
The album cover sold. I mean,
Well,
They would have been better off with a
with
picture of the guys on the cover.
Phenomena
Yes,
had
exactly.
a picture. Phenomena had a picture of a UFO in the cover.
Yeah, that's
So,
a, I like that cover.
But
That fits.
there's
you know?
not a doubt in my mind that they lost tens of thousands of sales because of those album covers.
Well, and how
And
many
those
of us
Scorpions records.
bought albums based on the cover? You know,
That's
flipping
all
through
I
the
did.
records.
You're
100%,
flipping through, and you saw the UFO, and then you saw Iron Maiden or Judas Priest.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
definitely.
Then you're
Wasn't
like,
even-
fuck this one, you know?
You knew right away, or a Saxon record even.
Yeah,
Like you
know,
knew.
Where's your,
Yeah. Or
where's
like,
your,
look at King
yeah.
Diamond. There's those kind of covers where you have
where's your cutting grass money gonna go? You know, gonna go with that cool.
That's your,
You're gonna-
that's your
you're gonna pick-
thumbnail, you know?
Yeah,
you're
that's
flipping
your-
fast. And you're going, it's all pop. You know, everything's pop until you see something with a skull on it or good lettering.
Well, even like I bought my first Wasp album. Wasp wasn't on the radio. I bought my first Wasp album because the album cover looked cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they didn't separate. I mean, maybe some elite record shops, but heavy metal wasn't separated. Everything was alphabetical.
yeah, it was, yeah.
So you stop at the Alice Cooper records; those look cool. You saw Deep Purple, like the Blue Oyster Cult, look cool.
Blue Oyster Cult always had cool albums.
And actually, for Alice Cooper, his album covers helped him more than other bands because some of those albums weren't great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had some great songs, but the albums themselves, not all of them were great,
Oh yeah, there's 100 of those. I mean, how many bands had cool album covers? But
Or Oz. I remember buying that Oz album thinking it was going to be killer based on the cover.
It's a reissue. Yesterday's papers. You can still get it on Discogs, fairly cheap, I think. But
Yeah,
it's a
that's
reissue.
is that Real Gone Music that did those?
I think so. Let me see what
Yeah,
I
you
Real
can still
Gone.
get those.
Michael, the only bad like hard rock heavy metal records were those Scorpions records with Bubblegum and the dog.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like,
Real Gone and Sire. It's only like a $30 record. It's not expensive. I thought you left there. You hanging to make sure I don't play Pound Cake? Are you just
Hey, what's
working
up,
to make
Jason?
sure I don't play Pound Cake?
Jason missed 45 minutes of debating Van Hagar and
Yeah, Van Hagar made number 4 on the list.
It got really, really, really contentious. I mean, really bad. Yeah.
Now, if Space Station number 5 was a Van Halen song, it would have been top 3.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. We're gonna put in Montrose in the Van Halen category. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying
you could do a whole-
it's Sammy Hagar's best song, I think.
yeah, you could do a whole Sammy Hagar, whole entire career.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
but his 5 best songs would all come from the debut.
Montrose?
of Montrose, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. So I think
Bad Motor
one of those-
Scooter.
One of those versus like I did the Ozzy versus Dio, the David Lee Roth solo versus Sammy Hagar solo. That'd be more regional, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
Hey, why did put that on, Patrick? Put on Bad Motor Scooter.
that's not Sammy solo,
No, that's what Montrose.
No, I know, but we wouldn't count that in the argument.
Sammy's a
Yeah, I
funny
would
one
not.
though, because Sammy's got a shitload of solo albums, but he's only
A
got a
lot.
couple of hits. I can only think of like 2 or 3 big hits that he had, and he had like a dozen solo albums.
Standing
So
Hampton
where I
and
come from, he was huge. He was massive.
Standing Hampton had the most hits, I think.
There's
Yeah, that was-
only one
yeah.
way. There's
Oh,
only
right, but
one
I mean, where I
way.
think Trans Am and Red were huge songs,
Yeah,
massive
you
songs.
Can't Drive 55.
What album is that on? There's only one way
VOA,
to
but
run.
it's on
That's on
VOA,
Standing
but that's the only big song off that realm, isn't it?
I don't even like I Can't Drive 55. So.
I'm just saying that was one of his biggest hits, though.
I would say that is his biggest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Van Halen
that
played it
came up.
live.
Became a pop culture
heavy
cliche,
metal
you
was
know?
heavy metal a hit? Because I remember that, but maybe it was just
That's
from the
on,
movie.
that's on Standing Hampton too, I do believe. So.
I don't know if it was considered a hit, but it's on Standing
Yeah, I was too
Hampton
young
and the
to know.
soundtrack. It was good for the
Hey, Eric.
Three Lockbox. I think Standing
Yeah,
Hampton had the
to be
most.
honest, I
'Cause I had
don't
I'll
have
Fall
much
in
of
Love
his
Again.
Sammy stuff.
That whole first side is all Babes on Fire. I think that whole first side is pretty solid as for his solos.
Comme bon moi.
It's nice to see you.
Have a good feeling for you tonight.
For you tonight. I hope we get a good feeling together.
Then
Hope we get a
again,
good feeling
David Lee
together.
Roth.
My name is Klaus Amina.
David Lee
He didn't
Roth
make a tag
solo
for-
hits were all his cover songs that were like
didn't?
completely cheesy. So
Yeah.
You just have Montrose next.
From our album Belgian Killer.
Virgin Killer, you don't know what that means, thank God, or you throw me out of the country.
yeah, this is the best era though, man. With Yuli
Oh,
on
man.
guitar, oh my
Oh, yeah.
god.
By
This is
far.
a great live album. This captures the time period. You feel
Now,
like
you want
you're almost
talk
in
about
that
a cool
era,
album?
you know?
You
This
wanna
is,
talk about
this
a
is
cool
one of
album
my
cover?
5 all-time
With Rudolph
favorite
Decker
albums
bending
right here.
over fucking backwards on that cover. Now that's an album cover, man.
Yeah, I gotta
And
get this.
you know they used to sit and work all that stuff out, like
Oh, yeah.
Germans, like really like, and then you do this pose.
Look at that,
you
I
do
know
this.
I don't know.
It was all mapped out.
Rudolph.
I have 2 copies of it right here.
Yeah, show Rudolph. Look at that. Now that's a fucking cover, man.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking platform shoes bending over like that. Show the back cover where I don't know. Look how big those platform shoes are where they're walking across the street. I think it's in the inside cover. It's on the gatefold, I think.
Nice. And Patrick, I told you a while ago, but keep an eye out for that. I need an upgrade.
Look at those platform
see
shoes,
that.
man.
Yeah, I need a copy of that too. I don't have a copy of that.
You need to upgrade what,
man.
John?
Of
I saw
Tokyo
a copy
tape.
of that.
Mine's a
a
beat
week
copy.
ago at a record store. Too.
I can send you one of these. I bought both of these like a week ago. One's a German and one's a U.S.
You see how many
No,
I have?
hold on. I'll pay. If Patrick sees something out in the wild, I don't want to take your copies. You're a collector, you know.
Well, no, I bought the U.S. copy and then saw the German copy, and I've always heard the German copy was better, so I bought that too. I don't need both copies.
All right. Well, listen, sit on it and think about it. Yeah, but I'll pay you for it because I definitely want a better copy.
Yeah, I mean, you can see I paid like $18 for them. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best live album ever, Eddie, but it's in my top 5 for sure.
I don't have. I only have one copy of Tokyo Tapes right now. So
If you had another one, I would have bought it off you. But
I'll keep an eye out. So it's kind of like Revolution by Night now, I guess. People want Tokyo Tapes, so I'll go look for it.
Yeah. I mean, I could live with what I have, but it's not in great shape. But yeah, I'll talk to you.
greetings, Oak and Shield.
Thor and Oak and Shield, yes.
May the Hobbit be with you.
Yes. You can just
One day, Patrick, I'm gonna crack this little bit of your life out, and I want to hear about it. Your whole Hobbit and whole Lord of the Rings extravaganza that you're into, that you're keeping secret here.
I probably read Lord of the Rings
when he role plays on the weekends, medieval times and stuff.
Wrong kind of role playing, Vance.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the guy that went to go let some girl in and was like back in 2 minutes. So yeah.
Dude, I have the master keys to all the apartments.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Oh, you have the master key to all the apartments? What are you? Some kind of like pimp?
He's a pimp, man.
Yeah.
He's the landlord.
No, you know. No, my aunt owns.
Right, yeah, you have like a stable.
Yeah, you know. And what you know?
Such a good song.
You're in room number 2 tonight with Lolita.
It's amazing how good his voice sounded on this album. It never sounded this good again.
I say it every time, but poor Sammy, this is the best he's ever gonna do.
Ronnie Montrose too.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go out on the high note. This whole album's great. This is this is what you would call a 10-star album. I mean, this is top to bottom. You know?
Yeah.
And what
he gets no love after this.
Oh, and what's funny is it's like an $8 record. You can find it all day long.
And what I meant to mention when we were talking about Van Halen, but the Van Halen debut is one of the greatest debuts of all rock, and I would throw Montrose, Zeppelin, but there's certain things that debuts are just so good, you know. And Van Halen won.
Yeah.
So just so y'all know, there's no show next week because I'll be in Texas. I'm leaving on Wednesday to go to Texas. I'll be back on Monday. So Friday and Sunday are out the window. We'll still do the Tuesday thing, but yeah.
Well, Guns N' Roses was like that, John. Their debut was perfect, and every album after that was horrible. They had some songs that were good, but
I'm sure that we could come up with 100 great.
Yeah.
I got to put Van Halen 1 up there, and up there.
But Van Halen had a lot of good albums after that. Some of these other bands.
Yeah.
I mean, like, were they peaked at #1 at their first album?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I just meant such a perfect record. Every song, and it was such an important record, and
It also introduced the world to Floyd Rhodes, or to the Floyds.
Oh yeah.
Floyd Rose.
Yeah, Eddie did that for sure, man.
And what's funny is I don't even think did Floyd Rose use a Floyd Rose when he did what was the band he was in?
Is that the Venom live at Hammersmith? What live at Hammersmith is Barnaby?
Paper Money's not bad, Vinyl Drinks. I would agree with that, but it's still not the same as the first one.
I would maybe put Tokyo Dome in my top 5 live albums.
I don't think I've ever listened to that yet.
I'm not 100.
I've heard mixed
Barnaby's got good.
feelings
I love it. It's not. If you're looking for great vocal performance, it's not there. But if you're looking for concert experience, it's unbeatable. Oh,
No air supply. No air supply, people.
Air supply.
No Sleep to Hammersmith. Yeah. No sleep. Okay.
What was the band that Floyd Rose was in?
I don't know. I didn't even know that he was in a band.
Yeah, it's a good album too. It's driving me nuts. I can't think of it.
Right. Q5?
Yeah, thank you. Q5. He was on the Q5 debut.
But the first Floyd Rose didn't even have the locking nut yet. So that was a very early model that Eddie had.
Goes right in the next song, but not on this one.
Well, what's amazing, yeah, the Floyd Roses were out in like 75 or 76. Nobody started buying them until like 80 after Eddie made them big, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then throughout the 80s, everybody had to have one. A Jackson with a Floyd Rose on it.
Yeah, and if you look at the early ones, they got better and better as the years went on. Like they started adding the little fine tuners on it. They added the locking nut to it and all that, so it got better. And then all the other brands started coming out. Taylor.
So you're tuning every time you touched it.
Yeah. Remember when the Kahlers came out? There was a big divide between the Kahler users and the Floyd, you know?
Air supply, really?
I like this album too.
So I can play Air Supply, but not Pound Cake. Is that what you're saying, Terry? Okay, I'll play a couple more and we'll call it a night. It's been a couple hours, so any final requests before we leave? You know, any songs you would like to hear before we leave?
So what was the final verdict on the poll?
Let's see.
Close it out.
I'll hear one.
Running with the Devil 1, and the Cradle of Rock 2, and Talking About Love 3, and actually, We're Full of Shit, it's actually 2. So, yeah.
Oh, what's the percent on We're Full of Shit?
26%. 29% says Running with the Devil, 25% and the Cradle of Rock, and 20% I Talk About Love.
Wow, man.
Patrick, I'll hear. I mean, I don't want to step on anyone, but I'll hear your 1 Foot Out the Door. That one, your favorite. It doesn't have to be the close, whatever.
That is a good closing. 1 Foot Out the Door. What a great closing song.
Oh, yeah.
What a great title.
There's other people got requests, though. I don't need to have that request. Eddie wants
okay, I'm not gonna take
Later, Mike.
because he yelled at me for God knows how long about playing Pound Cake. So no request from you tonight, Terry. If I was going to say later, I would gladly play Blows for Cold. All serious. I don't think Merciful Fate can save this scream, Eddie. No way. No way in hell. No. Is that the one that has the axe on the cover? Disillusion? Is that the axe one, or is that basically the black cover? The loudness.
I think everyone has lightning on it somewhere.
No, this one of them has like a black, really dark cover.
Hey,
I have.
Patrick, is there enough time for me to make one request?
Sure.
Can you play Rocket Ride from Kiss Alive 2?
I was gonna not leave because you always get so tired. So you're later than me. So. It's like really late when you are. Rocket Ride.
Yeah, no lightning.
Can you play some Rocket Ride?
It's the only Japanese record with no lightning on the cover.
How about Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter?
I have that too.
I have that in my head for some reason. I think I was flipping through my singles and saw it, but I love that song.
I don't know how that made it to the album. Like, I don't know. how
What's
Steve
that?
approved those lyrics, like "Bring Your Daughter." It didn't seem like that would make it through, but they were coasting at that point.
That's a great
wasn't
song,
that a
though.
Dickinson song though? Like that he did on an album, wasn't that?
The
Oh, I
first
don't know
I heard
about
of it was on that. It was like the single, wasn't it?
No,
Was that the
I
single
thought
from that
I
record?
thought Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter was on another thing before it was on Maiden.
I don't know anything about that.
Didn't his solo albums come after?
He had Vampire. Was it Vampire's Daughter? He had some early songs like from the 70s.
I'm trying
Oh
to
no,
remember.
yeah, it was originally released on the Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child.
Yeah.
Oh, but it said Steve Harris liked it so much he recorded it. It was a solo Bruce Dickinson.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I
I
Steve
didn't
Harris
know
liked
that.
it so much he recorded it for
I
the
don't
album.
have a live 2. I don't have a live 2 recorded, Mark.
Oh, you don't have it?
Friday the
Oh.
13th soundtrack.
I own it. I just haven't recorded. I don't have it recorded. So,
All right, don't worry about it.
what else was requested? I was looking for that. What did you want, Steve? What was it? Was it Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter?
Yeah.
Okay. I had that single. I know I have that somewhere.
Oh, you got that, but you don't have a Kiss on. Ah.
Yeah, that one's a pretty cool single. Doesn't that one have a fold out?
Yeah.
And Patrick, if you want to get out of here, you could skip that Van Halen request. That's fine.
I'm in no hurry. It's not. But usually, Mark's passing out and he's tired. So he's got some time. So,
I can survive a few more songs.
Okay. I'm just trying to be conscious.
And
Unless you
actually,
get
it's
to see
also
them
it's also not so much that sometimes we also get cut off around this time too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Right. But we did take a break to argue and yell about Van Halen. So I mean, I think that helps. Yeah.
Hey, let's play some Barry Manilow, Dave. I don't know about that.
Some bread.
Hey, John, what'd you guys do for
Maybe
your
on
wife?
I have the best of bread.
We had a busy day, like with sports, and she took the girl.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie's out there, and Japanese. This is what's it? Bow Wow or Bow Wow? I forget what they're.
Bow Wow.
Yeah, Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
This is a really good record. It's in Japanese mostly. It's like 70s.
I have
Their
Bow Wow.
70s stuff is really good.
It's
I got
like,
a Bow Wow, yeah.
There's a couple of English songs, but this Brino recommended this years ago. I got this, and this is. I think Eddie would enjoy this. It's very Japanese.
Is that one
it's
Bow Wow
70s.
or Bow Wow? Because if it's Bow Wow, it's 80s.
It's Bow Wow. I feel like
Okay,
it's
yeah,
like,
so that's the 70s.
yeah. This is 77, but it's
Yeah.
So there's a Bow Wow and a Bow Wow.
They're the
really
same
in-
band. They got sued and
okay.
changed their name.
Got
Not
it. From
because
Bow
they
Wow
use
Wow.
Bow
to
The reason
Bow
why I
Wow
was-
Wisdom, yeah.
The reason why I was
They're a
thinking because it
Wow
has
Wow.
like it has lightning and electricity like every
Okay.
Japanese record. This is a sleeper.
Is there a Wow Bow Wow?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of their albums that I really like.
How about
I have
It became
one
more
of
an
those, too.
80s metal band.
I have one of their 80s stuff. I have, what is it I have there? I have a Shockwaves is what I have from 87.
Yeah.
Eddie, it's got a tad of that like weirdo Japanese kind of mix in there.
They did. There's one from like
Like-
78 too. I can't remember the name of it. It was like it was a soundtrack to like one of the first animes in the 70s. It's really good too. But it's like heavy metal, like a heavy metal soundtrack to an anime.
What does that voice remind me of? That computer voice?
Mr. Roboto.
No, it's something different.
Back Pedro?
Can we play?
Oh
a
shit,
game?
was it?
How
What
about
was it? What was that little robot that everybody had in the 80s?
Remember the Speak and Spell unit?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember those.
Shit.
Gamma's a funny band too. I think Gamma 1 was really good and the rest of the albums kind of sucked, didn't they?
It kind of faded down. Yeah.
Didn't they like
I
change their sound for the second and third Gamma?
Yeah, well, the second Gamma is my favorite Gamma. The third one's kind of, they kind of went off the rails on the third one. But the second
Which
one
one?
was actually more rocking.
Okay, that's the
second
one I'm
one-
thinking of.
second
Gamma 2,
one
the
has
one
the-
that's
has
for
the-
hard rock.
The second one has the shark going through the lawn shark going through the lawn. What a great cover that was.
I never really thought about it. With this album, they were definitely going more for the heavy metal market than the hard rock market.
Yeah. it's so metal listening back. You know, the riffs, the tones.
Well, Fair Warning is definitely the heaviest album. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What genre is that? Yesterday's Paper?
Yesterday Papers, my favorite Japanese metal band is a band called Yellow Machine Gun. And they actually started as a punk band, and their punk stuff is really cool too, but they did 2 thrash albums like right in the middle of their career. They're fantastic. And I saw them in a club called Club Milk in Tokyo. Club Milk was the headquarters for that cult that bombed the subways, or did the gas attacks in the subways. And they turned that into a club. And we went there for another band, and these like 3 cute little girls in like schoolgirl outfits came on the stage, and they both had BC Rich Warlock bass and a Warlock guitar.
Oh, nice.
And all of a sudden, these 3 little schoolgirls who were like giggling and doing the whole Japanese thing start playing the most killer thrash that you've heard. I mean, it was such a cool show.
Oh, you like my BC Rich?
Yeah, their stuff is hard to find, but their albums are so good. That's exactly how it was. It's like they're a and then all of a sudden they just start thrashing. It was killer. And they were full on schoolgirl outfit, everything, you know.
I remember when they played the slide, they always had that long intro to this, where he'd make the crowd respond to him all the time, saying, yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm such a lazy ripper that every song we've heard tonight, I actually recorded and processed myself. That's how lazy I am. So, yeah.
Yeah, Earthshaker was pretty good too. I've got a couple of their albums too.
Wyoming Dave has his pulse on the charts of every country in the known human world.
Yeah, he does know the charts.
Yeah. He's got like Wikipedia charts on speed dial. Yes.
I think it's in his head.
That's scary if you like know that off the top of your head.
It's funny though, this tour was also one of the more stripped down tours that Maiden did.
Oh, absolutely it was, yeah.
Well, they were playing clubs.
Well, in Toronto, they played here at Maple
album,
Leaf Gardens here. They played Maple Leaf Gardens here, and it was pretty big.
Yeah,
tour.
they played Allstate, and I think Anthrax opened up.
Yeah. I know when they did Fear of the Dark that they were playing small.
Yeah, maybe
like,
it was Fear of the Dark.
Yeah, it was like only 2,000 seater here.
Yeah.
In Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played Lupo's and I didn't go Lupo's in Providence, which is just a club. Like I would play there.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So John, now that you're here, what's your opinion of Sammy Hagar? You know, as Sammy Hagar is a solo artist, how huge was he in your world? Because I know you're in Odessa, and I know Sammy headlined Odessa every time. So I mean, Sammy was a big solo artist, you know, because we're talking about Sammy versus Dave solo, and you know, anybody who's not in the Midwest is all Dave, which is fine, it's regional. But I mean, where I came from, Sammy would be over Dave all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear.
Hey Vance, did you see Maiden during the X Factor tour?
No. I dropped
I'm curious
out
how big the shows were with Blaze on vocals, if anybody showed up.
They came here. They played, I think it was the Warehouse, which was like a club, like maybe 1,500 people.
Oh yeah.
Meadow. That's pretty sad, man.
Well, I mean, at that point, when was that? Like
Metal.
Nobody
Yeah,
had
those-
any interest in Iron Maiden at that point.
Yeah,
I
92,
dropped out.
94, metal was dead. Like traditional metal is dead.
Yeah, unless you were power metal was starting to pick up and black metal and stuff, and new metal.
Yeah, I remember
Actually,
seeing-
the only bands that I can think of that really did good during that era, off the top of my head, like traditional bands, were Megadeth and Metallica. We're still selling out. Like
Yeah,
they were the only
Metallica
ones,
was playing
yeah.
in Norma Domes at that time. you know?
Yeah.
Like
Sounds
I
like
saw
during
when I saw
Northern Reload,
Megadeth,
right?
it was a 30,000 seater when I saw them in '94 or '95.
Yeah, when they were playing like Countdown to Extinction, they were playing pretty big still.
Yeah.
Shadow, hang on, buddy. Okay, it's a good thing it's the last song. The dog's starting to bark at me here. Hey.
But even the bands that opened up for them, it was Fear Factory and Korn that opened up, so they were still bringing in the young guys.
Shadow, because you didn't get to hear Rocket Ride.
I'd be curious how many people came for the opener and left after Maiden at that time.
Yeah,
It seemed like-
Pantera were big, but it took them a while before they were playing big venues. I want to say it was like '94 before they were playing the really big venues.
And that was a completely different fan base. It was like the baseball cap guys at that point,
Oh yes,
at least from my perspective.
And I tell you what, Pantera fans are like Slayer fans, man. They're psychotic at the shows. I don't know what it is about those two bands that the fans just go fucking berserk.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe to people who did not live in the Midwest or Texas back then how big Sammy Hagar was. I mean, he was like headlining. He was like playing like last on the Texas Jam.
Okay,
I mean, he was huge in Texas. You know,
So on the X Factor tour, they played the Vic Theater here, which is like maybe a 2,000 seater.
Shadow, hang on.
And then they played the Rave up in Milwaukee, which is like even less, I think.
You know,
Okay,
it was a band that sold out.
Sorry, guys, I
Madison
gotta
Square
go. The
Garden.
dog's gotta go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
all right,
Have a
Mark.
good one, man.
See you on Tuesday.
Mark,
we
great
didn't,
hanging
we
out
didn't
with
vote
you.
we didn't vote on a theme, but we'll probably do the year that lost the last vote. So
Okay, so let me know. Okay.
So
I
the
think
poll numbers now are just so people know. I can't see it. What the fuck is it? Come on. The winner is Running with the Devil at 30%. Second place is Other You Guys Are Clueless at 27%. And The Cradle Will Rock at 23%. And Ain't Talking About Love at 20%. So our number one that we thought was a consensus came in last. So you know, the people have spoken, and the people were very vocal tonight. I
It was
surprised
number
at how
one for a
vocal
while
some
when
of
I
them
was
are.
looking.
Yeah, it was, but we decided to go back and revisit it, throw out all the numbers, and just talk about it. So
You said
I could
Running with
live
the
with
Devil
that.
was last. Am I looking? Is your poll different than mine?
my poll says Running with the Devil is at 30%.
Okay, so that's the number one, right?
Yeah, number one.
Wasn't
Ain't
that our
talking
number
about-
one?
No, it was our original number one, but then we redid everything and we voted Ain't Talking About Love number one.
Oh, I thought we left Running with the Devil at number one.
No, we did not. Remember, we
I
took
can live with us being clueless.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean that's obvious.
I hear that every day, so it's all right. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with us being clueless too. So
Always learning.
all right, man. Thanks everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you to Steve, Vance, Mark, and John. And like I said, we won't be here next Sunday, but the Sunday after we'll do another throwdown, and we'll try to find something interesting. I'm sure we could do. I think we'll do Thin Lizzy, top 5 Thin Lizzy albums next time.
Ouch.
When are you leaving on Friday?
I'm leaving Wednesday, so.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'll be back on Monday. So we'll skip next Sunday, but start thinking about it now, people. Top 5 Thin Lizzy albums, any era, and so
That's going to be.
that'll be the thing for.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be tough for me.
That'll be the
that'll our-
toughest one we've done so far.
And I don't know if I'm adamant about any one of them that I'd argue. Like I don't know. That's a tricky one. That's tricky.
Yeah.
But you love Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, but I don't know if someone said fighting's better than Johnny the Fox, I don't think I'd throw down over that.
And
Like,
Lizzy's one of those bands though where all of their albums are good.
I would wave the flag for Bad Reputation all day long. I would sit there and wave the flag for that album.
I'd have to-
specifically.
I like fighting more than I think that'd be my top.
I'd have to
thing.
listen to some of those again and
That's
the whole
judge
point.
where
That's what I
fits.
do.
So
That's
we
what I've
got
been
2
doing,
weeks
John.
to listen
I've been
to them
listening to
all.
like the whole catalog, like all week.
So
I was listening to Van Halen.
you got 2 weeks to
So-
2
listen
weeks
to
to
all
listen to
your
all the
Thin
Thin
Lizzy.
Lizzy albums.
I don't,
and
and
Van-
I don't have them all, so I gotta.
And Vance, I'm going to give you a heads up, man. You might want to start listening to Led Zeppelin. So just a heads up. So
Oh no,
it's
we're
coming.
not ready for that yet. Don't do
I
that.
think we're pretty much ready.
Actually, I don't even. If you do it the week, I won't be around that week. I'll let you know.
Okay, well let me know.
I got like a lot of stuff going on, graduations,
All
and
right.
all that crap. So
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody. It was a
Good
lot
night,
of fun.
John, Patsy, Vance.
Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night, Steve, Vance.
Well, it's good hanging with you guys.
These throwdowns are coming a lot of fun. I like it. I think it's a great thing. Thanks everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. Good night.